Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Good morning, everybody. How are you this fine, wonderful day? Scott Jackson in the building. What's going on, brother? How are you? Anthony Manzano, what is up? How are y'all doing today? Scott Jackson in the building. What's going on, brother? How are you? Anthony Manzano, what is up? How are y'all doing today? Hold on. I had an echo there for a second. So what's going on, everybody? 7 in the building. Please hit the like button. Before we get to some news today, how are you? What's up, Jose M? How are you, man? Good morning. What is up, Justin? How are you doing today, brother? How are you? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How y'all doing, man? Well, let's get into some news real quick. You know how we do every Saturday. Larry, of course, Greg, he is not available to make it today. He is studying for an exam. I hope he passes it. Hey, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well, okay? I hope you're doing good, Justin, man. That's my buddy. He's a good friend of mine from Fort Myers. He's a Lions fan, so he knows what we're going through. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the Lions, I think we'd have the longest playoff win drought. So thank you, Lions, for not making us the team with the longest win drought in the playoffs. But anyway, let me get to some news. I thought it was funny that Ndamukong Suh came out with this. This is reported by the Jets media. Ndamukong Suh, not interested in the Jets, claimed them to be non-contenders. Damn. I mean, first it was Odell Beckham. Now it's Ndamukong Suh. I mean, who else? What else? Who else? You know what I mean? Hey, Luis, mi hermano. Que voila. The streak is ending soon. So I'm gonna drop the link soon. But check this out. I have a few funny memes like I always do, and then I'm gonna follow it with the question of the day. Here's one. You can't catch a DUI if you take your house to the liquor store. Anyway, rings lost, wings won. LeBron lost 6. Yesterday I was talking about name changes on the Finn's Tailgate. What about this? Miami Sardines, extra salty. I think that would be a good name. What do y'all think of that? Yeah, Jose M. Non-contenders. Last year, the Buffalo Bills, hey, they got their first They didn't win a Super Bowl yet, but the Buffalo Bills got their first participation trophy. I thought that was nice. As a matter of fact, news came out that Miami Dolphins hired a new assistant quarterbacks coach, Mr. Miyagi. And of course, that was the memes of the day. And finally, question of the day. Let's say, for the sake of argument, McDaniels shits the bed, for a better lack of words saying. And he gets fired, and we need to hire a new coach. Who would you hire as your head coach? We have coach of the Miami Sharks, would you hire him? Or would you hire Hayden Fox? Coach Hayden Fox of the Minnesota Screaming Eagles. If you had who are you hiring as the head coach? Keep in mind that Hayden Fox does have experience as a professional. He was hired by the Orlando Breakers. You got Luther Van Dam as his defensive coordinator and his special teams coordinator, the guy that does Patrick Starr's voice on SpongeBob. And the one thing about you got to consider with the Miami Sharks coach, I can't remember his name right now, that he has a very, very checkered past. So I'm curious to see, who are you hiring as your head coach, your next head coach? You want Denzel from Remember the Titans? Yeah, he won the Pantheon Cup. So that's what's up, man. I'm gonna drop the link because I already have and they have a co-host. So if y'all want to come up and chat, yeah. Any Given Sunday was a good movie. But I was hearing today that running back position. So, Justin, being that you're a Lions fan, what do you want in the first round? You want an edge? What position do you want in the draft if you had to pick one? Yeah, I remember what's going on, Color? How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm drinking some coffee. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've seen a couple of mock drafts where they do got an edge player going to you guys. I think that would be a hell of a place. Maybe Ndamukong Suh will come back to the Detroit Lions. But the one thing, the dominoes keep falling for the New York Jets, man. I think it's amazing that they do, man. It is amazing. Let's see. So I dropped the link here. I'm gonna try it one more time. Come up if y'all feel like it. Oh man. We are I got some more draft talk here. Hey, that's true. Vikings could cut Cook outright before the draft. Would you guys take Dalvin Cook if he was to get cut? I think that's a no-brainer. What are y'all paying Dalvin Cook if he does become available? I would say Miami's biggest draft need is offensive lineman, obviously. I would say left guard more than right tackle because I think Austin Jackson is a little more reliable than Eichenberg at this point. But I think with the new coaching, I think he'll leave letters in his locker room to help improve, I guess, So, Jose M. Cook is a must. Dolphin system. I'd offer him 3-year, $30 million. That's $10 million a year. How much guarantee? That's a pretty good. Actually, that's not a bad contract, especially for him getting. He is older. Let me look up. Let's while we're at it, let's look up Dalvin Cook. Fuck it. That's what we'll do. I'll wait for somebody to come in. Dalvin Cook. You know what? Let's look up Dalvin Cook real quick. Dalvin. Okay, give me a second here. All right, I found this here. Share screen. All right. Dalvin Cook. Here we go with the Vikings. We got his rookie year. Okay, $22 million guaranteed. That's not a bad contract. I'll take it. But here's his overall. His rookie year, he only had 354 yards. His second year in 2018, 615. 2019, he had 1,135. 2020, he had looks like his best statistical year with 312 attempts, 155,000 yards, 1,500 yards with 44 touchdowns. The year before, he had 53. His production has been dipping ever since. But those are receptions. I thought those were touchdowns. He had 13 touchdowns. Okay, his best statistical year was in 2020 with 1,516. Then his production really slowly deteriorated. So yeah, I bet you would like him out of NFC North. What gives you guys hope that he would improve with this offensive line that we have? Is it the offensive line that gives him the advantage? What's up, Adam Sadowski? We're just talking about how Dalvin Cook could be cut outright, and Jose M just gave us this. I think this is a good year, good contract. 3 years, $30 million with $22 million guaranteed. Probably front load the bulk of it, I would say, and then leaving out for the third year. But what gives you confidence enough to say that Dalvin Cook is going to replicate the 2020 season and not the other 2 seasons where he's declining? Is it because of McDaniels, maybe? Is it because of we have Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and maybe the box isn't going to be so loaded? What gives you the guys the confidence that what's up, Von Joe? How you doing, my brother? Okay. You want him for the catch. Yep. So let me ask you this, Jose M. Everything equal, who would you take, Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry? And would you offer him the same contract or let me see what you say first, because I want to see if you would take everything's equal. Everything's equal. Who would you take? That's a good point. Excuse me, I have a little. But I don't think playing with your brother is necessarily a thing that people like. You know what I mean? Because aren't the Edmonds playing together? They had a chance to play together. Edmonds, Edmonds, whatever, he could have went to Chicago for what he's getting paid. I can see like the Bosa's, because Bosa's, they're going to demand a hell of a lot of money. So you like Henry 10 times better over Cook? What would you give him, G? Okay. And then that changes everything. Holy shit. That would be kind of scary if we had Dalvin Cook and both in Buffalo. Adam Sandowski, that's another good point. Sibling rivalries. They probably want, but again, like what Von Joe said, he said he wants to play with his brother. 3-year deal, $33 million. That's not a bad contract. How much of that would you guarantee it, though, G? So the RPO is one of the reasons why you'd put Cook in a he runs the RPO system. 20 mil. Hell yeah. Give you a third, you put it in the first 2 years. So now I'm gonna ask this as a spec. You know, he had Minnesota had a pretty good offensive line. Would you say it's the receivers why his production dipped? Dalvin Cook's production dipped a little bit. was it the receivers that they were relying too much on the pass game and really didn't get him involved. But all right, here we go. All right, I'll give you my take on this. Yeah, I would definitely give Dalvin Cook. I think one of the reasons I would like Dalvin Cook on this team is because I think he would definitely eat up some. He will have. He will definitely make the defense respect the run game a little bit more. But here's the thing, too. Also, Bonjo, if you're still in the building, all right, let's say he does want to go to Buffalo. What makes you think Buffalo would want him? Didn't they sign the guy from New England, number 37? Maybe they don't want to return them. Maybe they're not really interested in the run game. Because one thing I heard about Josh Allen is kind of like a kind of like to a rhythmic passer where he needs to get a rhythm going, and if he's constantly running the ball, he doesn't get into a rhythm. So what's up, delusional Patriot fan? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Come on in. Come on in. Is the link working? Because let's have a little conversation. Let's do a little draft talk here. Henry is the type of back that needs 20 carries because he wears down. But our strength wide receiver is wide receiver. We need running back that could produce with 10 carries and 5 receptions, which we already have. So you're saying we should stick with Raheem Mostert, Scott Jackson. Isn't that what they said with Chase Edmonds, that he would be a good route runner, but the man couldn't catch it, couldn't catch a cold? Let's see some. Henry gives 20. Give Henry Terry carries 20 carries, protects 2 or more. Less threat to get play action. Henry. Yes, Sony Michel. Everybody was excited for Sony Michel when he came up. All right, now I'm gonna look up some things while I do. In the last 5 years, who do you think was the biggest running back bust for Miami as far as free agents concerned? Do you think we had a lot of free agent busts in the last few years that really didn't work out? Yeah, he was first. He was the first round draft pick from Georgia. Okay, here's a good point. Here's Von Joe. We brought back 4 running backs. All have money invested in the pass game. So what shows that we are interested in Cook or Henry? Just talking to the fan base talking. Well, the one thing you could say, Von Joe, too, is that the 2 running backs that we brought back don't have any. So if we cut them, they don't have. It won't be any casualty cuts. So we could easily move them. It's just the money. I think post June, that's when the money is going to supposedly you're going to see more money. But I'm with you. I don't think that they're going to get either. Every year, the Dolphins have been pounding the table for a good running back, and then soon as week 1, surprise, we're running with the same running backs we had since the. Give me 1 second. Hey, thank you, Fat Boy Swag. No, I dropped the real link this time. I dropped the wrong link. So thanks, Scott Jackson. I appreciate you. Can you all hear me now? I'm hearing. Okay, that's what's up. Hey, what's up, Color?
Hey, that looks like the right one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was a great question you just had. I think that it has to be free agent move bust in the last however many years. Has to be what we just got rid of, Chase Edmonds, man.
What about the guy
we moved off a guy quicker than that ever?
What about the guy we got from Jordan Howard?
Oh yeah, that was a pretty quick one too.
Jordan Howard. But the thing with
Then there was the guy that retired we got from Houston, Arian Foster.
Yeah.
That was a quick exit.
Oh yeah, that was the year we made the playoffs.
Oh, right, when we lost to Pittsburgh, right?
But see, the thing about it was when Jordan Howard went back to the Eagles, he went back to producing again.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. It's odd, isn't it? But I mean, I don't know. I look. I think it's so there's such a fine line. I think we got a great running back room, believe it or not. I think all the guys can catch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw some drops, but again, like I was saying in chat, there is no elite when it comes to running backs catching the ball. You either can or you can't. And what I mean by that is, yeah, guys that can are going to drop the ball, especially when they're getting lit up by a cornerback, but so that skill set, it's not like that brings much to the table. Dalvin Cook does hit the hole awfully hard and awfully fast, man. That's why he's a great running back. He probably would be an upgrade at running back. I just don't know if he'd be an upgrade in this scheme per se, using guys in the flat and all that. I think Jeff Wilson has great hands and he has a great first step, man, in the flat. Myles Gaskin has produced in the past. He's had games where he caught 10 for 10 receptions for 2 touchdowns, while also rushing for only 25 yards, but only on 5 carries. I mean, talking about over 100 yards all purpose. There's a reason we kept Gaskin. People got to forget. If you're going to start talking scheme fit, which is okay, I think you guys are right to say that between Henry and Cook, scheme wise, Cook makes more sense, obviously. So I'm not really. You guys are spot on with that. But when it comes to scheme, we put that on why we would choose Dalvin Cook over Henry, but then we can't. A lot of us in the fan base can't understand why we kept Gaskin. Well, for the same reason. I mean, he is a perfect scheme fit.
Yeah,
and he runs it well.
And he came for a very cheap price. Also, listen, delusional Patriots fans has a good point. Aaron Rodgers is kind of, you could say, is an elite pass catcher. But then again, who was throwing him? Yeah, Aaron Jones. But look who was throwing him the ball. That's
And again, they run a nice, like teams that run a nice offense. You're going to see, teams that execute well. You're going to see their running backs look like they're great pass catchers. I'm not saying he's not, and he is top notch. But again, as a running back, you can either do it or you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that can do it, in my mind, are almost kind of all on the same page, as far as, in other words, if you see Aaron Jones drop one, you're going to be like, are you going to immediately say, no, he ain't good at catching the ball no more? Well, Chase had his chance. Chase couldn't even do his main job of running off tackle through a hole either. So you can't be dropping balls as well as not hitting a hole. Dalvin Cook, on the other hand, he ain't going to be missing no holes. I get that, and a big threat.
Jose
I just don't know if we need to do much at running back. I mean, to be honest with you, with what we're trying to do on offense, if you are going to do something at running back, I just still prefer the one piece we don't have, which is a guy that just his presence on the field is going to guarantee you a touchdown inside the 10-yard line, and that's Derrick Henry.
Well, let me address the room, the elephant in the room. Then, he is Eric Studesville, right? I'm looking at his the Wikipedia page right now, and I like to have facts before I make any statement. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And according to
because when you're wrong, it's okay to be wrong when you're coming from a place of education. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that at all.
According to Wikipedia, he became the Dolphins coach in 2017. I guess under Adam Gase. Before, he was the running backs coach from 11 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive coordinator and running backs coach. So he did have offensive coordinators. When he became the co-offensive coordinator, that's a myth that I want to dispel right now. They said, "Oh, how can you get somebody with no offensive coordinator?" It just says it right there. He had offensive coordinators. But anyway, that's another whole nother fucking story. But anyway,
right.
At any rate, he's been here since 2017, and I listed those draft busts. Do you think that Cesar Diaz don't call color an elephant?
No, what did he say? I'm sorry.
He says, "Don't call color an elephant."
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, what's up, King Mill? How you doing, my brother? Thanks for stopping by.
I'm at the very early stages of elephant evolution.
But at any rate, do you think it's the running backs coach that we're not getting the most out of these running backs, or is it the offensive coordinator that's scheming these plays that's the problem?
It's really hard to say. I could also use the common low hanging fruit of offensive line issues. You know what I mean? But I really think that all in all, it's starting to gel. I mean, we really, again, people are quick and they're right to point out the yards per carry this year. You know, I think that I think these little nuanced things are things that we had to expect with a new head coach, but everybody wanted to be Pollyannish about until it failed, and now we want to use that as an excuse. You know what I mean? But I think that a lot is going to be worked out in the wash for the fact that Mike McDaniel basically, you know, threw in his wad, you know, kind of cut his teeth, said, "Hey, I don't know what I'm going to do, but let's start here." And now he's got something to go peruse over all offseason and say, you know, was this the best move here in this spot? Was that the best move in that spot? What do I really need? What are the essentials here to get done what I'm trying to do now that I know really, really what everything is about with this team, what everybody's worth, what they can accomplish, what the best part of them is, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And I think we're going to see differences just in that alone when it comes to the running game, which towards the end of the season wasn't, when you talk about the offensive line aspect of it, was starting to kind of gel. I mean, this is why I know people are out on Eichenberg and Jackson and all that, and it's the same old story, but there's a reason Greer is taking the position he is, because he's looking at the same damn TV screen that I am, actually in a way better view, you know? So, you know, I mean, I can't say it enough. I've said it a lot, and a lot of people just like to forget it when it's convenient. But go back and watch that Buffalo game, the second regular season game, okay, the one that ended up having some snow that Tua played in. And just look at our offensive line, some of the end zone views that they showed during the broadcast. I'm telling you, you could see that we looked bigger and stronger than them, and we were dominating the trenches all night long. Now that's only one game, sure, but that we have to admit that's a progression.
By the way, King Mill answers the question here. He says he blames it on the running back. Same damn thing.
And Mostert was cooking that night, but you know what? There again, we got a running back in Mostert that's got a pitch count, basically. You know what I mean? It's like we're always bringing in guys with certain issues. Like, can't anybody just play for 17 games if they don't get injured and, you know, let it all hang out? I mean, that's why I like guys like Jeff Wilson, man.
McDaniel with the RPO, Vic is the offense. RPO is the Vic Fangio of the offense. A film and schematic head and new wrinkles next year will be fired. I agree. And listen, I'm very optimistic for next year. But you know what I'm saying?
Well, from the research I've done about the West Coast itself, Shake, I've noticed that McDaniel, it seems to me, and this is only opinion, but it seems to me that McDaniel took this opportunity to say, you know what? Nobody knows nothing. It's my first year, and we have to just go at something. And he tried to like add some wrinkles into the West Coast system that have never really been tried to be added before. The West Coast system is designed for a short passing offense, utilizing the running backs in the flat as your running game is, more often than handing the ball off. It relies heavily on play action as a default. And of course, you've got certain things about it that don't include the deep ball. It incorporates a lot of tight end use, which we saw we weren't doing. But what were we doing instead? We were throwing the deep ball. So I think McDaniel just got in and said, you know what? I'm going to try to be an innovator because I don't have a lot. The expectations aren't really high from the cooler heads in the room, being that I'm a first-year head coach, you know what I mean? So, and I think he let some things out that, and tried some things that he probably will shelve next year, you know what I mean? Or whatever, or refine and whatever else. I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to add a deep ball wrinkle to the West Coast, which is kind of antithetical to the type of offense it is in the first place.
They're more
By the way,
short,
about
intermediate.
let me before I'll let you get the floor right now. Scott Jackson says a running back coach in the NFL has no impact on anything. So why do you need a running backs? What is the running backs coach's job for? But go ahead, Anthony. You got the floor.
Can I answer that real quick, Shake? Can I answer that real quick? Same thing a wide receiver coach is supposed to do. Not teach like in a condescending way, but remind players of the fundamentals, like keeping your eyes on the football.
Yeah, no, and I can understand where Scott, the running back coach has more of an impact in college because you're developing the kid to go into the NFL. So I can understand why he says there's not really a point to having a running back coach if you're not in the NFL, if you're not teaching them really anything. You're just telling them what they already know.
Right, you're reminding of fundamentals and if necessary, retraining. So your point is great, Anthony. It's really a matter of the maturity level of your professional football team.
Yeah, no, if it's and to be honest, for college, I understand why, because you're recruiting running backs to what the scheme is. You're not doing that with a running back coach in the NFL, right, Color? Am I correct? They're not really.
I mean, no, not really, not necessarily, because taking the ball and running up the hole is going to be your fundamentals are the same, no matter what type of system you're running. So that would be a fair statement, I think.
Yeah, no, and I understand where Scott. I think the receivers coach and the what's it called, the receivers and running back coach in the NFL seem like a pointless position. You're just you're reinforcing what they already know. What's the point of having a guy teaching you what you already know, like reinforcing it if you already know it and stuff like that? Like, that seems like a pointless position. You're wasting money on a position that really doesn't do anything in terms of teaching the player.
It's more of a communicatory position. And if you don't need that communication, if your head coach or offensive coordinator, has that type of communication with your players, then they would be kind of obsolete or not needed.
Yeah, no, because McDaniel was a running game.
Well, you generally find them to be like an ex-player, somebody that can actually talk to the players and kind of communicate and translate.
No, and
you know
what confuses me a little bit though with McDaniel, he's a running game coordinator. What's the point of having a running backs coach if you were the one working hands-on with the running back position when you were there at in San Francisco? You were the running game coordinator which basically is the same concept as a running backs coach.
Well, the thing about the reason why he has to have a running game coordinator, I understand what you're saying. He could do it himself, but at the same time, he has to be the head coach. So at the end of the day, he needs somebody that could that could run the running back room because he can't.
Exactly. Who's running the practice in the running backs room when coach is having to answer questions about people's genitals?
Yeah, no, but that's why I'm asking. Like, I understand he's a head coach and he's supposed to control everything on the team, but being that having a guy who it's a redundant position to me.
Well, here's the thing.
Redundant.
Well, here's the thing. Right. For instance, like you got a coach that's his specialty is run, right?
Yeah, run
game. So what you do is you hire more experienced wide receiver coaching, and then you could just get a running back coach with less experience because he's pretty much just being you're echoing what you're saying anyway. So he's just you can get somebody with little to no experience running.
And also, let's not forget Frank Smith was a running back coach too. So that's what confuses me too. Having a running back coach when you're off OC also was a running back coach before seems like a redundant position. Color, do you agree?
Yep. You can.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, you would think if you're talking about an ought statement, yeah, I guess that's an ought. But a lot of teams use these positions simply as, avenues for
young coaches to get a position.
Right, like station ladder, station building, and it's not that they're not useful or they're just being totally useless. But again, it's about like Shake said, the coach has so many different things besides what his main focus is to deal with. You got to have a guy, and that's why it's important to pick guys that are, like-minded with you. It's sort of like you see in the media, or even how I tell these guys back here. It's like if you're filling in for me as a host because I can't make it, but it's still a color commentary show, then I would pick somebody and I would expect that person to be able to sort of emulate me, even though they're not me. They're not trying to not be. They're being themselves, but it's somebody that can kind of emulate because you're still trying to produce the color commentary show.
For me,
you know
color,
what I mean?
Do you think, this is an honest question. You think
so? What I mean is these coaches that you're talking about, Anthony, are just coaches that are like-minded with the head coach, and when he's busy dealing with the pressers and whatever else in life that goes on, because these guys are still adults in a professional environment, somebody's got to still be doing the actual coaching.
Yeah, and by the way, I agree with Scott Jackson 100%. Some of these position coaches is pretty much stepping stones to move up to become an OC.
That's what I meant. Coach. That's what I meant. Like stepping stone. That's the word I was looking for right there.
No, and I think in general, the position coaches in the NFL are more there to reinforce what you already know instead of actually teaching you techniques or something like that.
And don't forget don't forget the verbiage. Don't forget the verbiage because every offense has different verbiage. So
no, I'm saying I know understand. Yeah, teaching you the verbiage, but what I'm saying is when you look at the general label for these position coaches, don't look at what position they're teaching. They're just there to reinforce what you already know, but they don't really teach you the techniques except for
it's hard for them to reinforce. It's hard for them to reinforce too, because look, we got Wes Welker as our wide receiver coach, yet we have a wide receiver that dropped 3 footballs in a playoff game.
Yeah,
in a crucial situation. You know what I mean? Has issues taking his eyes off the ball. Now, I don't blame Wes Welker for that per se, because look at the heat that I've taken as a layperson pointing out these issues with Waddle. Look how people come at me. How is Wes Welker going to breach that subject with Waddle? You know what I mean? It's like that's a fine line between, reminding and reinforcing and actually condescending or patronizing. You know what I mean? An adult. Because Jalen Waddle's an adult. Let's face it.
Like that seems like they hire coaches that are catering more. I understand.
But who tells Sylvester Stallone that he's acting like crap?
Nobody
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, nobody. nobody. But what
there's
I'm
plenty
saying
of times
is,
when there's plenty of times when he needs to be told his acting is crap. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, but what makes me mad about this? It seems like we're hiring coaches that are players' coaches that don't want to stand up, like correct the players' issues and stuff like that. Like,
no. Color, be careful. Waddle is Tuanier's vice president.
oh Jesus. Oh,
Well,
God.
that's probably the reason they come at me. But at the same time, what you said was really important there, Anthony. And that's why you bring in a name that carries weight like Wes Welker. Because when I asked the question, who's going to tell Sylvester Stallone he's acting like crap? I don't know. Pick a better actor and send him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, did you see the assistant head coach did the assistant quarterbacks coach that Miami Dolphins hire?
Who?
Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, snap.
Gee, honestly, it's so confusing with the color. These positions that the NFL creates for these coaches, it's so confusing. Like, how many positions do you need on a
What's
coaching
up, Robert?
staff? Like, assistant
Trainer.
head coach.
What's up, Robert Trainer?
Like,
yeah, the assistant quarterbacks coach, quarterbacks. Well, the thing about the assistant quarterbacks coach is, and that I learned this a while ago because back in 2019, we hired the assistant quarterbacks coach, Shaplinski. And what happened was, obviously, the quarterbacks coach was Josh McDaniels. So he would sit with Tom Brady, and the assistant would his job was to coach the second and third and whoever was on the practice squad. So a quarterbacks coach you have a quarterbacks coach for Tua, and then you're gonna have a quarterbacks coach to talk to Skylar Thompson and now Mike White.
oh, so basically, the assistant takes. So the regular quarterbacks coach is just coaching one. That seems
the
like
starter.
Yeah, no. To me, that seems redundant. To be honest, I thought the point of a quarterbacks coach is to coach everybody instead of one player. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Well, you gotta think about this, Anthony. He has the most plays to remember. He has the most responsibility to every team. You know what I'm saying? Because a wide receiver, all he has to do is run routes. The quarterback actually has to read the defense, has to call out plays. He's the one who's calling the signals, so he has a lot more responsibility on his play.
He's got to know the running back's role. He's got to know everything, man.
Yeah, I know that, but still, like.
So you gotta have one. You can't just have one coach doing that for everybody. You gotta kind of be a little.
But
more
there is something to be said for there being too many chefs and not enough stew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and this is why, honestly, I like the concept of what college does with the with that position. Color is that they have an OC that is the quarterback's coach. One guy controlling that one position and stuff like that. So that's what eventually I think that's what the NFL is going to do, transition to, where they have the OC being the quarterback coach and stuff like that.
I like this comment, Mr. Miyagi, the inventor of the blindfolded heavy bag drill. We need that to doing that.
Oh, jeez. But Color, do you think the NFL would eventually transition to what you see in college, where the OC is the quarterback coach?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, Anthony, because in professional sports, I'm not one of those people that think it's like gonna mimic other things like that or fall into this or that. I think that each of the 32 teams, that's what makes the NFL so great, is it even if 18 of the teams are all doing the same thing as each other, you're still gonna have some others that are doing something different. Look at the Tennessee Titans, man. They are truly just still playing raw, good old-fashioned pro football. You know, maybe they use some RPOs and all this other stuff, but there ain't no new college gimmick. There ain't no, whatever else. It's line up, get the ball past the end zone. No brainer. Same with Pittsburgh, teams like Pittsburgh, like that. Baltimore wants to keep.
They're too archaic in their thinking.
I don't know if it's archaic though, bro. Because again, if it moves the football past the end zone, you win the game. It don't matter what you do.
No, but what I'm saying in terms of how the league is transitioning, running a run first team seems very archaic. Is what I'm saying. Color.
Yeah, but that's only because it's cyclical. It's like when somebody like Belichick decides, okay, now this is just what everybody's doing. Well, that means that they've all drafted really small defensive backs and nobody's got beefy linebackers anymore and nobody's got a beefy defensive line. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go draft a bunch of offensive linemen and big ass running backs. So it'll come back, dude, when it's needed. And then everybody will go back to drafting big, beefy linemen again, and then the passing game will open up again. It's just the way it is, man.
So football is a cyclical sport in general. Like it's a
right, but it's cyclical for each individual NFL team. Mm-hmm. So you have a smattering. It's like a wave. You know what I mean? Of because some guys are still at this point of realizing that. You know what I mean? And the teams that are at the front end and realizing the paradigm shifts constantly are the ones that are constantly contending.
Stop telling the secrets. Stop telling delusional Patriots fans. Stop telling Belichick's secrets.
I know Belichick. I've watched him for my entire life everywhere he's gone, because everywhere he's gone, except maybe his short stint with the Browns, everywhere he's been has affected the Miami Dolphins. So
yeah, the Giants, the Patriots.
I mean, yeah, and so, not only that, but how can you argue with 21 years of greatness and 6 championships? You know what I mean?
And
yeah,
wait,
you can say cheating and this and that. You can say cheating and this and that, but come on, people. I mean, really, that's only going to get you so far, to be honest with you. And another thing is,
there's a
some of the ways that they've quote unquote cheated were not considered cheating at the time they were doing them. So,
No. And technically people say that the NFL covered up because they were winning. The Goodell allowed them to get away with that.
I've just never understood the question as to why they would have chose them. Like, everybody thinks that the NFL plays favorites and all that, but like, why? Wouldn't you think the NFL would want Miami to be a great team, a huge market like Miami is?
Yeah, well, I agree with you. It doesn't make sense to, maybe because of the Boston market, like, because
in my mind, Goodell is calling up Ross every day going, you going to get Lamar? You going to get Lamar?
Yeah, no.
It's Miami.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that Miami's a bigger market, but I think because they have Boston next to Foxborough, which is like 20 minutes away from that area.
Well, I think it all started with 9/11, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to bring that out because they were saying that one of the conspiracies is after 9/11, they want the Patriots.
Well, Kraft all but said it in his victory speech one year. Tonight we were all Patriots. Oh God, I can't stand that guy, man. I just can't, bro. I can't.
It's funny. A player
play on our heartstrings to prop up. Play on our Americans' heartstrings and patriotic strings to prop up one individual NFL franchise that's a private business that gives us nothing in return.
Well, and to be honest with you, the smartest thing that New England
we're
did.
All Patriots.
Well, the smartest thing they did was they went from Boston to New England. So that encompasses the 16.
Right. Connecticut, New Hampshire, all of them.
Yep. So.
Yeah, no. And for me, I think it's a double standard too. I think me and you talked about this when it happened, Color, that it's unfair that they basically dinged Deshaun for the same thing, and they allowed Kraft to get away with it. That's a double standard.
Yeah, but go back to the 9/11 win, the year that they won the Super Bowl. Who did they beat that year?
The Giants, I believe.
I thought that was the Rams game.
Yeah, it was the Rams.
Oh,
they beat the Rams.
You're right.
And if it was, what are we going to choose? Are we going to choose Spygate or are we going to choose the favoritism from the NFL? You see what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, Color, I'm going to need you guys to stop gaslighting because we are now a gaslight-free zone right now.
Gaslight-free zone starting?
Yes.
All right.
No more gaslighting, please.
Crypto's
I'm
the only
definitely. I
gaslighter
really
is what
want to
you're
get
saying?
crypto. I really want to get crypto on a segment with me, even if it's like a short 10, 20 minute segment a week. And we're going to call it Crypto's Gaslight Manifesto.
Oh Jesus!
Exactly.
Don't encourage Crypto. He's already gaslighting enough.
Hey, Crypto,
Don't
I have a
encourage
question.
it.
I need Crypto to answer the question of the day. All right,
What's
now let's
going on
say,
with the Patriots?
hold on, you got. I need you to answer the question
Before
of the
you
day.
do, I need to know from Delusional Patriots fan how good my Robert Kraft impression was.
That was a good one.
So here we go. Crypto, let's say, for instance, we got, McDaniels gets fired, right?
Yeah.
And we had to hire a new coach. Who would it be? Would it be him from Any Given Sunday? Remember, he coached Jamie Foxx into to a championship. So, and then we have Hayden Fox, Screaming Eagles.
Oh, okay.
And remember, he coached the Orlando Breakers. So they're both coached teams in Florida. Who would you taking? Coach Fox or the coach from Any Given Sunday?
I might, I might go Any Given Sunday. Your Shake. I don't know, man. That's a good one.
Just remember,
But-
he has a very checkered past.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, which one was the one played by John Voight? Was that Friday Night Lights? Or-
No, that
Friday
was
night. That
yeah,
was
Friday
the
nights.
Was that Voight?
John
was it
Voight
the other
played
guy?
one of them.
Yeah, I remember.
The
It
one
was
that
another
the
guy.
one the players mutinied on by the end of the game.
I like
Which
the
one?
coach from
Cusack?
radio.
By the way,
Oh,
who's
man,
the
it's
next?
another guy I'm thinking
We
about.
drafted the next Marino. So G, are you saying that Tua is the next Marino?
He said we.
No, that's Tua's.
I-
famous
Shake, I was
Tua.
gonna say I was looking forward to the year 2030, man. I'm just trying to get out ahead of everybody.
Hey, I just thought of something really
2030.
cool.
What happens in 2030?
In 2030, we win. We finally win it all. We might win it all that year.
Oh,
I
that's
just
what's up.
figure we say this every year. I'm looking forward to the upcoming season, so I might as well just go and beat everybody to the punch.
Yo,
I'm looking forward to 2030.
Well,
I
you
just
should be
thought of
you
a
should be
great idea.
you should be optimistic because originally Crypto said 2080. So now
I moved it up 50 years.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
right.
Oh, dang, we're moving up in the world.
I thought
I said
I
2080
thought Crypto
before.
was
Okay,
gonna
so
choose, like,
Crypto,
the year
what roster
3000 or
move?
something.
What roster move did we make that made you push it up 50 years?
Oh, geez.
No, but I got a great idea, man. You know how like Flutie's got Flutie Flakes, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking Tua needs to contact Chef Boyardee, have him throw some pineapple and some beefarino and call it Tuarino.
Oh God. Oh, Crypto. We were talking about
Hey, and
Patriots in
the
terms of-
pasta will be shaped like little arms.
Little
Crypto.
arms.
Me, Color, and Shake. We're talking about the Patriots in terms of the NFL covering up all their alleged cheating and stuff like that, and because they were winning and stuff like that. That's what we were talking about.
And there'll be a bunch of 1s and 3s,
Oh,
so you can you can put a 1 on your spoon or a 13 on your spoon.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
Since we're actually one of the other topics that we're
Tuarino, Chef Boyardee,
there.
Tuarino.
one of the other
Tuarino.
topics was that Dalvin Cook is going to get cut outright. Would you be interested in picking him up? What would you think his impact would be for the Miami Dolphins?
It probably would be a nice impact. I put him along the same lines of Hunt, maybe Kareem Hunt impact, but 'cause both of them can catch out of the backfield. They're good pass catchers, so even though Dalvin Cook hasn't been used as much in the passing, but he has that ability. I've always wanted him from draft night when we missed that boat to draft him. We had a chance to get him, scoop him up in a draft.
So
Well,
so DPF
got
says it was a
Gesicki.
4 out of 10, bro. I need to in the
4 out of
future.
10.
I need to add references to Meek Mill or any other rapper. I'll take that note. Delusional.
Meek Mill.
No, honestly,
One thing I know about Meek Mill is he's a true patriot.
God, that's
Yeah.
disgusting. That made me throw up in my mouth when I heard that.
Actually, you know that accent you sound
Kraft,
like
man, he's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shake.
No, go ahead. What you saying? Go ahead. Continue. About Kraft?
No, I was just gonna say about Kraft. He's I don't know whether he's coming or going, man.
Yeah.
And Crypto. What I said earlier, it's a double standard with the NFL. Kraft got away with the same thing that what's his name got away with Deshaun Watson with the massage parlors and stuff like that. Like,
well, there's two different
there's
massage
incidents.
Yeah, but
right?
there's two different things that happen. I don't want to talk about that here, but they're two. It's they're both dealing with massages, but they're two different things. Number one, Kraft was in a actual business versus Deshaun, which Kraft had. There's more video evidence of Kraft doing what he's doing versus Deshaun Watson was hearsay.
You're right. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Shake. There's no video. It's all hearsay with Deshaun, but there's video evidence of Kraft. Yet the NFL covered that up.
Yeah, but the only difference is Kraft was just going to a spa. He didn't know anything about what was going on with the workers.
Yeah, he was like just looped up in a prior investigation that was going on.
No way, and don't forget,
they were already investigating the place. He had nothing to know.
Yeah, no, but didn't Kraft get caught with a stripper in his car? I thought, too.
Oh, we ain't gonna speculate nothing. I didn't see nothing like that. I don't know.
No, me neither. So yeah.
All I know, he was deflating footballs and spying on the Rams. That I do know.
Right, he definitely was spying on the Rams.
Yes, that's what he got arrested for, deflating footballs in the massage parlor. But that's another story. So,
yeah,
wouldn't that be inflating footballs?
No, actually, we're deflating. You think about it.
Honestly, I would stay away from Dalvin, to be honest.
Okay. Why would you?
Why? Okay, so I'm going to ask the question that everybody asks me when I talk about Lamar or anybody else that the Dolphin fans hate. Why are the Vikings willing to cut him? Why don't they just want to have him as a running back? What's wrong with him?
It doesn't happen.
They're going to draft Bijan probably.
Y'all ask me that question all the time about my Lamar takes. Why are the Ravens want to let him go? Okay,
actually, the Ravens didn't want to let him go.
Right. But you know what I mean. It's not just Lamar; it's other people too, like other players, where they throw that out, like And I just asked the same question: what's going on with Dalvin that we don't know about? Is his ACL about to blow? What's going on?
I think the check engine light is on. That's why, color. The check engine light is on.
Nobody been changing the oil. What's going on?
Nobody's changing the oil. The check engine light is on.
Hey, Shake and Color. I just got an update from Chat Sports, and they're saying Quinn Williams is asking for 25 to 27 million a year as a defensive tackle.
And we can't give Lamar 45. Oh my God.
Right.
What world are we living in, man?
That's a travesty, color.
What's up, Canes? Dolphins 89.
I think we ought to call up Roger Goodell and reorchestrate them fixing it for the Dolphins. Make sure Lamar.
How about the march on the Capitol, Crypto? That's where I'm at right now. I don't know, man.
You have to go all the way up to.
Got to take his $400 million for 10 years. He's getting.
Well, in this case, the Capitol would be the NFL headquarters in Los Angeles. Just so happens to be the Rams Stadium.
Wait, I thought the NFL headquarters is in New York.
SoFi.
No, bro, they moved. So Anthony, check it out. Just for a little historical review for those that also don't know. Stan Kroenke completely manipulated the entire situation with the NFL at his disposal to do it in order to move the Rams to Los Angeles to build that entire big complex we know as SoFi Stadium, and the complex includes the new headquarters of the NFL.
Okay, so the NFL doesn't have their headquarters in New York like they used
Correct. The NFL's
Yeah, they relocated.
headquarters in Los Angeles at that mega super complex that is SoFi Stadium.
Right.
to. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So far, yep. It's all out there
That's it.
now.
That seems like a
Southwest.
conflict of
So
interest
now
right
they
there.
can do everything at midnight.
But this
right,
is why
Color?
the NFL.
Eastern
This is
time?
why the NFL. But this is why the NFL helped Kroenke provide the evidence, the quote unquote evidence that showed that the city of St. Louis didn't give two shits about the Rams anymore.
No, I agree with you. But for me, having the NFL,
But the NFL orchestrated that. The NFL also clamped down on the city of St. Louis to build a new stadium, and was like making their demands like way more than they did for the average other cities with their renovations and all that. They made it impossible, basically.
Didn't that almost happen with the Vikings too?
Well, real quick, let me finish out what happened, right? So when the city of St. Louis countered and said, or the people involved countered that wanted to kind of like force Kroenke to stay, they countered by petitioning the city for funding, right? And that's really what it was about. Kroenke was like, look, if you want me to stay, you're going to have to pay for my stadium, even though I'm a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
So, that old game. So the big vote was held in the city of St. Louis as to whether they should fund the stadium or not, right? And what happened was they like basically used this parliamentary move that only allowed the residents of St. Louis proper to vote, because the stadium is in the city of St. Louis. So none of the surrounding suburbs in St. Louis County were allowed to vote on this referendum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's only believe it or not, there's only 500,000 people in the city of St. Louis. And none of them give two shits about spending their tax dollars on a stadium for a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're not doing that.
But most of the St. Louis Rams fans were from the surrounding suburbs, St. Charles County or St. Charles, Chesterfield, Kirkwood, those places. That was the bulk of their fans. So their fans literally got no say in it. Mm-hmm. And it allowed Stan Kroenke to show everybody that the fans didn't give a shit about football, NFL in their city.
Well, what you're talking about, like in terms of the owner forcing the county or the city to pay for a stadium, Color happened with the Marlins and Jeffrey Loria and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He built that nice stadium in Little Havana. He forced the people of the city of Miami to pay for that stadium, and
it's in Coral Gables.
He didn't pay for it.
It's not
right, and in the NFL, the owners are able to strong arm the cities by saying, "Well, we'll just move, and you'll lose all that tax revenue."
That's actually the Marlins Stadium is where the Hurricanes played.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, right.
It's not Hello Havana. It's Coral Gables.
Yeah, like East Kendall.
Yeah, somewhere around that. It's not Hello Havana.
No, my mistake.
So the Hurricanes on a different site.
Yeah, they play at Hard Rock.
Yeah, but they're going to be building their new stadium according to the plans. It's probably in Tropical Park.
By the way, for if for anybody that feels the need to appeal to authority, I was living in St. Louis while all this was transpiring. It was top page news on every station.
Is that what happened with the Raiders too? That the NFL made them look like the fans didn't care about the Raiders?
Mr.
Stuff
Polk.
like that.
What's on your mind, Mr. Polk?
The Raiders.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Pretty good, Mr. Polk. How about you, man?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We hear you.
Oh, okay.
Mr.
Right,
Polk, chewing-ear extraordinaire.
No. Hey, listen. Color. We already established he's a member of the Wolf Pack. Welcome, my brother.
He has been indoctrinated into the Wolf Pack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome
we
to
were
the
just
pack.
talking about the St. Louis Rams getting forced out of the city of St. Louis. That's what we were talking about.
By the way, what I was saying about
okay.
them strong arming cities like they do, they traditionally have been using London as that threat. Like, we'll be the team that goes to London. Well, now that the Rams have moved
Yeah, I
out of
was
St.
threatening to
Louis,
go to another country.
right? Well, now that the Rams have moved out of St. Louis, now they have that open big city to strong arm everybody with. Oh, we'll just move to St. Louis, you know?
Well,
I
what's
think the
funny?
Car-
But what's
I
funny
think
is though.
honestly, I think
But what's
the
funny is that
Cardinals
before the Buffalo Bills built their stadium, they were threatening to move to Austin, Texas.
Wow.
Well,
Was it?
you
I
know,
didn't hear about that one. Austin.
I mean, the
Texas.
Bills better be
honestly, I think the
careful.
team
Well,
that would move if they didn't
wait
have
till
the
I hear.
stadium-
Wait till Amicus come up here. I'm going to get them.
Yo, the Bills
You
better
guys are
be
going to
careful.
Austin next week.
Listen, what I was just saying about St. Louis, the Bills better be careful because the city of St. Louis has a college basketball team called the Bills. It's short for Billiken, which is not a bison. It's a little statue that's like a omen, right?
Mhm.
But they go by Bills for short. So St. Louis Bills already has a ring to it for fans in the city of St. Louis. So just saying, be careful, Buffalo.
No, actually,
Yep.
you know what?
You guys are out of
Color,
there after next season.
I actually have a better one. If the Cardinals didn't have their stadium in Phoenix, I think the Cardinals would have moved back to St. Louis because they were originally in St. Louis.
Yeah, they were. Yep,
Yeah,
St. Louis
yeah,
Cardinals.
that's right. They sure were.
So there would be
Yeah.
two St. Louis Cardinals
Two
teams.
St. Louis Cardinals teams.
Well, they never really left Phoenix. They just go by the state name now.
Right, they got Arizona.
I mean, well,
exactly.
technically they're not in Phoenix. They're in a suburb of Phoenix called Glendale.
No,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. If the Cardinals didn't have that stadium, they would have gone. I think that was the team they would have moved to St. Louis. Is what I'm saying, Color.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they already moved over there in our lifetime. So, although, you know, that shouldn't matter because they moved the Rams to St. Louis in my lifetime and then moved them back in my lifetime. So, yeah, I guess it could have happened. Well, you know what? They got that threat on the table now, though, Alexander. Like if
Anthony.
the league wants Phoenix to, you know, renovate their stadium, you know, they're going to be, well, we'll just move them back to St. Louis.
That's it. They're using that threat for
There's more Cardinals in St. Louis anyway.
No, and they're
I don't
using
know if
that
I've ever
threat for
seen one in a
Oakland
Cardinal
A's
in the desert.
baseball.
Is that
They're
possible?
Well, they have Cardinals. They have Cardinals out in Arizona, plenty of them. But remember, Crypto, it's not just the bird you're talking about in St. Louis. You got the St. Louis Cardinals, like the priests. You know what I mean? Like there's a huge, large number of Catholic churches in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Well, since y'all talking about this, let me pose a question to y'all. If the NFL wanted to send a team over to like Germany or France, what team would you think they would send?
I would say they would form a new team, a new franchise.
Hold on, hey guys, look at the what I scared. Look, Buffalo to Bills to Texas. Reports puts Austin on the short list.
I mean, wasn't there bison in Texas? I mean,
Yes.
I would have thought there's more bison in Texas than there is Buffalo.
Yeah, most likely, especially in the Great Plains, all the way from Mexico.
I read the name. I read the history of how they
North
came
Dakota.
up with the name. They actually named the team after Buffalo Bill, the famous cowboy.
Right. The fake cowboy, the
fake
entertainer,
cowboy, right.
Buffalo Bill's
Exactly.
Wild
Buffalo
West
Bill.
show. Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't for the Silence of the Lambs, Bill.
No, it was for the famous gunslinger from the Old West.
The Old West, yeah. They
Have
should
you
go
guys
to. They should expand to the Dakotas. We need 2 teams in the Dakotas.
I know, right? Why don't we have a team in South Dakota?
Right. We should have been had a team in South Dakota by
I mean,
now.
they could have just, couldn't they have, never mind, I'm not going to go there, but they could have just moved some other teams to South Dakota and it would make more sense, you know what I mean? Like the Chiefs.
No,
Yeah.
but the issue with that is
Yeah, that's not much of a hike.
And it's not offensive. And it's not really offensive in South Dakota, you know what I mean? It makes sense in South Dakota.
Right. They got tribes, exactly.
Right.
A lot of tribes in South Dakota.
California. That's a good one, California.
Yep.
No,
That's
no,
a good one.
but color. The issue with that though is you're cutting into the Packers fan base because most of that,
Oh yeah.
yeah, from Montana to South Dakota and North
Oh,
Dakota,
they go clean into Missouri, bro. Them Packers fans, man. Ugh.
Yeah,
you can't stand Packers fans.
They
quite a
go down
few of them
that
in
that
Illinois.
Mississippi River vein
Right.
and make it here. You know what I mean? Or there, I should say. Damn, I only been gone 4 years, and I'm all still talking here about St. Louis.
Here, here.
Damn.
Yeah, no. Like if you
It's
if
a
you
cool
look at
place
the
to live, man. I don't know.
yeah, no, and it's crazy. I have friends who live in Canada now because
Right.
of the military, and they say like if you go into Toronto and going all the way to Vancouver, most of that area for the NFL is Packers fans, Packers and Bears.
Yeah, and they
I
also
imagine they
reach
travel
Denver
well.
too, man. Like there might be as many Packers fans in Denver as there are Broncos fans.
Who's
Yeah.
the
I will
biggest?
say,
I think the biggest fan base around the world is the Dolphins, right? Or am I thinking? Am I?
Between them
know.
and the Cowboys.
Short guess would be the Miami Dolphins. Yeah,
yeah, I will
In
say
England,
that
it
because
is. In the UK,
Okay, and-
it is.
I was gonna say you can ask El Capitano.
UK.
He looks at our studio our YouTube numbers, and we actually get quite a bit from like around the world. You know,
yeah,
I think
UK.
Brazil's one of them. Germany's another.
Germany,
And there was
Mexico.
another one we were really surprised about, like South Korea or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? That's right. He did say
Or
that
Japan.
in one of the
Or
platforms.
was it Australia?
I forget where it was. Maybe it was
It was in
Australia.
Australia.
There's a lot of. You know where it surprised me that I'm
Also
shocked that
Mexico,
there's a
too.
lot of Dolphins fans. Brazil. I'm kind of surprised there's a lot of Dolphins fans in Brazil.
Why? We're the closest
I'm not.
NFL
Yeah, the
football
closest
team to them.
team to it. Right. You
And
literally
the closest in culture too. I mean, they're
They're
a
probably about a
Caribbean place.
6-hour
You know what I
flight,
mean?
right?
Yeah.
From Miami to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, and
About a 6-hour flight.
Rio is
Something like that.
is Miami on steroids, man.
Basically.
No, the reason why I'm saying I'm shocked is you have Dallas that's pretty close to Brazil too. So I thought there would be more Cowboys fans there.
Nah, it's not that
No,
close,
but-
no, bro.
but
It's
you know
not
what,
even
though?
near
No.
as close, bro.
Hey, by the way,
here's
welcome
the thing,
Joe
Anthony.
Levesque. What's up,
No,
Joe
Dallas
Levesque?
is further west.
For the
Yo.
potato farmers.
There's
But he-
Dallas fans in Shreveport, Louisiana, Anthony. That's why they're way far away from Brazil, dude.
Yeah.
And Anthony, don't forget
And
the
sorry for transposing your name. The take was just so odd that I almost thought I was talking to Alexander.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anthony, don't forget the
Just
Dallas
messing with you,
Cowboys.
Alex, if you're out there.
By the way,
Cowboys
Anthony, you're not the
still
only
love
person
you,
who gets
Alex.
got confused by Alex. So
Right.
Yeah,
Shake Money
no,
for the
I-
longest
I-
was
I
always
call
Alex
Shake
2.0.
by mistake a whole bunch of times.
No, but in this case, it wasn't the voice. It was just the take.
No, but what I want to say
Yeah,
is
right.
that the Dallas Cowboys sort of dropped off some, so they're not as popular as they used to be.
Well,
So
and they
that's
always
what-
had America's team moniker, but that
Right.
doesn't mean that everybody around the world cared. If anything,
Exactly.
everybody around the world hates them for being America's team.
No, and when you look at the top three fan
Guess
bases
depends on
around
which
the world,
political party you listen to.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Art Rooney, I think it was Art Rooney, the original owner of the Pittsburgh
Falcons.
Steelers.
Oh.
He was offered the America's team moniker, but he turned it down. So that's why the Dallas Cowboys took it.
I can see why too. I can imagine a guy like him turning it down, and I can even imagine his reasoning, which is sound reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
the top three teams around the world with the biggest fan bases are the 49ers, the Dolphins. This one
Especially
shocked
at
me.
that time, Shake. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Anthony.
Yeah, this one shocked me. The Packers.
That don't shock me too much
No,
because
no.
you got to remember the Packers kind of been around for a good ways back, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I think
they
now.
go further back than the Dolphins as far as
Mhm.
establishment.
They were the very first winners of the Super Bowl. The trophy is named after their coach.
Of course, yeah.
Lombardi, exactly.
But
But I
what
think
they
now
established,
we've
Now,
grown
if
into a
Shula would have
paradigm.
won it, it would be the
let me
Shula
look that
trophy.
up.
See, I think we've grown into a paradigm now where there's like 4 or 5 America's teams. You know what I mean? And we're talking about the traditional NFL football teams that if you were to talk about changing their name, people would be rioting.
The Packers.
Let's name those teams. The
It would probably
Steelers,
be the Cowboys.
the
Well,
Cowboys.
Cowboys would be one.
And color, you know, I brought
They
up
would riot if they changed the
last night. Last night I brought up the fact that a lot of these original teams were named that had specific names. One of the reasons why the Steelers got the name was because at the time, most of New York was built off of the steel that came from Pittsburgh.
Right.
But now, being that Pittsburgh doesn't produce steel anymore, it's like even though they don't produce steel like they used to, they still keep the name the Steelers.
Carry that
Right.
moniker, yeah.
And they still have large iron deposits in the state, so it still makes sense, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
The Cowboys fans would revolt. The Steelers, I would say maybe the 49ers.
Yeah, that was big out there. The gold rush.
I don't know because there was a time when the New York I don't know if you can call it. Maybe you can go with the 49ers. That one's close.
Oh no. My mistake. The Packers fans.
So we got the Packers, the Cowboys, the Chiefs,
the Bears.
The Bears definitely.
Yeah, they've been around for a while too.
The Giants.
Yeah. And
I would argue the Eagles.
Now Green Bay, they've been around since 1919.
Right. Of course, the Dolphins, an original AFL team.
A little battery gotta go.
And of course, the very first undefeated one. So you're gonna be tradition there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And then you got, let's see, who else? I mean, dang.
Maybe
you could
most
argue
of the teams
Bengals. You could argue the Bengals.
And by the way, the 49ers are now the 69ers.
The Browns.
The 69ers.
The
Browns. Would you say the
I don't
Browns?
know about the Browns. Well, the Browns are an old team. I just don't know if people would riot if they changed their name. Well, I guess they did. The stadium rioted.
Let me see how far about the Cleveland Browns go. I just did Green Bay.
The Raiders.
Well, I would have to say that the Browns we'd have to include because their stadium did actually riot when they changed their name. So, yeah, we can include them. The Raiders, yeah, I'd put the Raiders in there
the Raiders
as an OG.
Yeah, that's like a
Yeah, no, because
Chargers.
Remember, those fans get crazy. Raider fans get crazy.
As far as they mascot, I mean, as far as who they are.
The Seahawks, maybe.
No, definitely not Seahawks.
No, not Seahawks. Because the Seahawks, that was one of the that was like one of the new teams that came out.
Yeah,
because
the Dolphins wouldn't be considered an original team, right?
Not really, but if you're talking about tradition and people rioting if they change their name, I include the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I would even say the Colts.
Maybe.
Like the Dolphins set a certain standard in this league that has never been met. You know what I mean? Since you know.
Okay,
they'll be
rioting
the Colts as well.
Colts,
Since
yeah, I could argue the old
Colts.
Baltimore Colts. Yeah, you could put them in there.
Yep, because they've been around for a while too.
Most of in general, I think most of the NFL teams before the NFC and AFC, the NFL and the AFL merged.
Right, and it's pretty much the prominent teams that were in the AFL is who I'd include. I mean, the Chiefs were in the very first Super Bowl as well, so you got to put them in there.
But you know what? I never thought that the Washington Redskins would change their name. In fact, the Washington Redskins in some ways are considered an American team because whenever you had special occasions, it was most of the time you had the Dallas Cowboys playing the Washington Redskins.
Right, and they're in the capital of the country. So, yeah, I'd say America's team, right?
Right, yeah.
Right. And you look at,
I'm surprised that wasn't the original Americans team.
Yeah.
I would say would you guys say the Rams fans would riot, or that really doesn't?
No, because they didn't the first time and they didn't the second time.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I just Googled it right now. What's the largest, if you can see it, the largest, Dallas Cowboys has the most fans in the NFL with a history of 190 straight sold out regular seasons and postseason games, home and away.
Wow.
Damn, 190 straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would put the Minnesota
That's a long
Vikings
time.
in that list.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. That's a good one. Call it the Vikings. That's
Mhm.
right.
I think they played in the second Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Second
They
or
lost
third.
four. Hey, they're
I was
0-4,
gonna-
just like the Buffalo Bills, so you know.
The third
Oh,
one.
are the
Bills.
wait by chance?
Now,
Are
if
the
they played the Bills, the streak is going to end for somebody.
are the Detroit Lions considered an original team?
That's close. That's really close. I'd say probably because
Yeah,
Detroit is
before the
Detroit.
merger.
I mean,
Right.
Detroit's a big enough city to kind of,
All right.
and they
And that
have
was right
stuck
before
with
the
their
merger.
team through some tough dang times, man.
Let
Yeah.
me see what the Houston Oilers look like when they got established.
Yeah, Houston
Mhm.
Oilers, even though they don't really exist anymore,
There's no more,
except
right?
through the Titans, I guess they exist.
Titans. Right.
Ain't that something?
Yep.
1929. So yeah, they
Yeah,
were an
people
original.
forget,
No.
Mr. Polk, the first year they moved to Tennessee, they were still going by the Oilers. They were the Tennessee Oilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They change over.
And to this day, when everybody wears their throwbacks, Tennessee wears the freaking Houston uniforms, not the Texans.
Okay,
Oh,
so
so
they're
the-
established.
The Titans. Oh, so the Titans wear the Oilers.
Yes, they wear the old
Yeah.
baby blue
Yeah.
Oilers
baby
uniforms and not the Texans.
Right. They wear the baby.
The
blue.
Texans actually wear the old Dallas Stars
they own.
uniforms.
Right.
Because that's what the original Houston franchise was the Stars, moved from Dallas, the Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars.
Oh,
And
so the
Coley,
hockey
is that-
team.
No, there was a football team, professional football team, Dallas Stars, and they moved to Houston.
And Coley is exactly right because the Tennessee Oilers played in 1997.
Yep. Jeff Fisher was their
Exactly
coach.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first franchise move. And remember when I was talking about Stan Kroenke and all that? It ain't no coincidence that Jeff Fisher was their head coach at the time that moved the Rams too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what he gets paid to do. If Jeff Fisher ever became our coach, I'd be like, we're moving, guys.
Uh-huh.
How
Yeah.
unlucky as a coach?
They never stand still.
How unlucky as a coach that you get labeled for multiple teams, like a team some St. Louis fans blame him for the team getting moved and stuff like that. Which
Well, the thing of it is that here's the thing, Tony. You know, the guy has coached for two teams, and both of them were moved. He's got a 100% track record.
yeah, no, but
Yeah.
you should blame the owner, not the coach.
Well, I get it.
But he's the guy you see more often than not. So I can understand why the fans blame Jeff Fisher for
To me, they blame him because all of the stuff that we always talk about, the fallacies of the NFL and all the other stuff they do and the tricks and games they play and all that stuff, he is a tool for all that. He is one of their tools, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Houston Oilers was established in 1960.
60. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, here we go. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, here are the original 8 teams of the NFL: Dodgers, the Redskins, the Bears, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Packers, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Pittsburgh Steagles.
Damn.
Which was,
What?
which they merged during World War II, which was Eagles and Steelers. So they were.
And they actually went by the Steagles, or is that a retro name?
No, that
Man,
during
that's
World War
crazy.
II they merged, so it was called the Steagles. Those are the original 8 NFL teams.
Wow.
Man, so they separated and went to different parts of the state.
But yeah, but I'm trying to figure
So
out
I wonder if
who's the Dodgers.
I wonder if each half of each of those teams that ended up going overseas to fight, I wonder if they formed a freaking platoon and called it the Steagles.
I wonder who the hell the Dodgers are. That's a
Brooklyn,
one.
I believe.
But for an NFL,
Yeah,
okay.
I believe so.
Because I know they had a baseball team.
I want to say my
Brooklyn.
natural thought is
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Could have been LA, but I think it was Brooklyn.
All right, now I'm
Or
gonna
Cleveland or somebody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Brooklyn baseball team was in Brooklyn.
All right,
for a while.
here we go. Here are the AFL original lineups.
AFL.
The New York Titans, the Boston Patriots, Buffalo Bills,
Wow.
Houston Oilers, and then the Los Angeles Chargers, Denver
Yeah,
Broncos,
that's right, the Chargers.
Oakland Raiders, and Dallas Texans.
Dallas Texans was in the AFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did that become the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
No, they're the ones that moved to Houston, I think, and became became
Houston
the Oilers, and Dallas became the Cowboys.
Okay.
Right.
Like they didn't
That's
move. Like they didn't move. You know what I mean? Per
Yeah.
se.
It's almost like musical chairs.
Yeah.
All right.
So we would be like the AFL's first expansion class. You know what I mean? Before the merger. Because we came in '66, and the merger happened in I want to say, when the merger happened, 69, 71, or 70 or something.
Thought it was 60. Was it 67 when they played before the first Super Bowl?
It was right
It had to be
after
the
we
year of the
came
first
into the
Super
league.
Bowl.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, 67.
Yeah,
It could have
but
been the
Dodgers.
first Super Bowl. Yeah,
You're right,
because
Color,
we
they
lost
were
in Super
Brooklyn.
Bowl 3.
The NFL team that
Brooklyn.
was the Dodgers, they were in Brooklyn like the baseball team.
The
Damn.
baseball team was there too. Yeah.
So were the Giants for baseball, and they're the ones that moved to San Francisco in baseball.
Mm-hmm. And they call them now the New York Football Giants.
So, hey, do you think that I could see, if you look at the way history is going, I could see the XFL and the USFL merging doing the same thing, because they both have 8 teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a better
So the
smart move.
USFL and XFL. Okay.
Yeah, to do
Give them
spring
16
spring football.
No, but here's
So
the
spring
thing
football.
though. I mean,
They'll
if
start
they
with interconference championships or interleague championships first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but if they do that, they're gonna have to. That means that they're going to be, how should I put it? Because right now the XFL is getting close to the end of their season, and the USFL is getting ready to start their season this month.
Yeah, no.
That's only because they're competing for airtime. If they're doing something together, then they would just be at the same time. But I'm imagining like them do maybe not even merging like the NFL, but maybe having a format much like baseball where it's called Major League Football, and you've got the USFL and the XFL under that. You know what I mean? As 2 different leagues, like the National League and the American League.
Were you guys
But
a big
he-
fan of the AFL?
Oh, you arena? You talking about arena football?
Yeah.
It's okay, but it's.
I mean, if you enjoy watching Tua
different.
play football, you would enjoy watching arena ball. That's all I gotta say.
And then also too, just to throw this out there, if you really look at the XFL and USFL, the XFL starts right after NFL, and then when the NFL season ends, then here comes the USFL, and if I'm not mistaken, that might run into the NFL and Canadian football. So it's like somebody is like, I mean, I'm just guessing. Seems like somebody to me is putting all this together so that we
You're
can
putting
have
your foot in
football
your mouth
all
by
year
doing
round. Huh?
You're screwing up your viewership by doing that.
No, but if you like football all year round, not really.
All right.
If you're
Right.
a football fanatic and you love football,
You don't
period.
mind.
I mean, not just
Exactly.
your home team. You getting football all year round.
Oh, you're wrong. Right, exactly.
and it's
I
not
would love
exactly the
that.
same.
They're just
You
not going
know,
to ever get legitimacy without real NFL star power. That's just the way it is. And I'm telling you that the way the NFL is propping up these garbage quarterbacks the way they are, that's the goal, because these are going to be the class of quarterbacks that legitimize those freaking leagues, man.
So you think Tua legitimizes the XFL or the AFL?
Absolutely. The
no,
USFL for sure. Number one, because he's better than anything the USFL has by leaps and bounds. Okay. And secondly, he has the entire state of Alabama and the entire state of Hawaii in his pocket. He could easily become the Birmingham Stallions quarterback and provide legitimacy to the
right.
entire league.
Yeah, because really, basically, when you look at the
Yeah, he will.
XFL
That would
and the
make him
USFL,
billions. He would be the second billionaire athlete in history.
and these are players that didn't make the NFL out of college, and some who did make it to the NFL and didn't do well. This is where they're going. They're going to the XFL and the USFL, and
Yeah, well,
some of them are balling out, but not enough to come back to the NFL. If you get what I'm
whatever
saying.
happened to that rumor that the XFL was going to do a partnership with the NFL where they were going to
Become a
use
farm league. They use them as a farm league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
It's not really a rumor. It's not really like on or off the table. It's just one of those like obvious things that people are talking about that they're probably discussing. You know what I mean?
Which would make sense.
I heard one of the owners, so I forgot whether the UFL or XFL, saying, I mean, not the owner, but one of the top person was saying that that part of the reason why we have these leagues like the XFL and USFL is to give some of these kids that's coming out of college who don't make it to the NFL the opportunity to play football in another league.
No. What I'm saying is
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that's what I've been hearing around the XFL and the USFL.
Hey, check this out. You know what I was thinking? Because remember how we had this discussion about marketability, right? Color, right? You there?
Yeah.
Said marketability.
Okay, now I was thinking about this. Look at the Brooklyn Nets. All right, Brooklyn Nets. They became an expansion franchise. They had to share the market with the New York Knicks. Granted, the New York Knicks are starting to are on the upswing, but at the end of the day, they're like the monsters of the New York market. So in order for them to get a lot of good jersey sales, I was thinking, damn, they traded for Kevin Durant and the other guy,
Kyrie
Irving. So, and they brought in some of these big names. And I was thinking, damn, they did this to kind of buy a championship. But if you look at the big scheme now that hindsight is 2020, I think they did this to kind of push their jerseys into the market, because at the end of the day, had they not got those three names, I don't think they would have whose jersey would they sell if they just went the traditional route like most NBA teams.
Built through the draft, basically.
No, I'm talking about jersey sales. You know what I'm saying? So once they got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and these big names that were established elsewhere, once they came into the fold, I think they had a easier time selling Brooklyn jerseys at that time.
Yeah, and traditional NBA fans, the reason why they couldn't take to the name Brooklyn Nets is because they still call them New Jersey. That's what it is. I think also, Shake, the traditional old school NBA fans don't still consider the New Jersey Nets the Brooklyn Nets New Jersey. They don't call them Brooklyn, even though it's in the name. They call them New Jersey still.
Well, it's just like with San Diego,
New York, New Jersey,
the Chargers.
What
They still call them. People still call San Diego Chargers even though it's in LA. I think it's just a slip of the tongue.
No, it's not a slip of the tongue. The traditional traditional basketball fans
Yeah.
hate that they moved them to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with the NFL fans.
Yeah.
They hate that they moved them to LA. A lot of people wish they would have stayed in San Diego.
Right.
So
yeah, San Diego. I liked the San Diego Chargers. It just had more of a ring to it.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Raiders are the ones that dominate the LA market. The Rams are even a guest in that city. To be honest,
they share the same stadium, right?
The Chargers and the Rams, yeah.
The Ram. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chargers are trying to build a stadium like in like somewhere in Oakland or some like in the outskirts, so they're not sharing a stadium.
Well, one thing Ross said, I'll never forget Ross. He was one of the. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I'm from New Jersey, and I call them Brooklyn Nets. They moved on.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, King Mill, but the old school New Jersey Nets fans hate the fact that they moved.
Hey, by the way, King Mill, I've been meaning to ask you: have you ever been to the MetLife Takeover?
Mm-hmm.
Just asking. That's on my bucket list. I'm telling you what. That's what I'm doing next year. I am.
Yeah, you gotta come up there, Shake.
I am going to be doing that next year. Hell or high water. That's gonna be my plans for next year to do the next. When the schedule comes out, and if the game is in December, then I'm gonna move it to the year after.
King Mill's like, man, it's a freaking MetLife takeover every time he walks into that stadium, man.
Because ain't no way I'm fucking sitting my ass.
You ain't going in that December.
No.
Hey guys, I want to show you.
It was actually 50 degrees when I went there. When I went last year, it was like 50.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't too cold. It was manageable.
Yeah, because you're up from up there. Oh, coño.
You know, I'd imagine winning in the NFL is a lot like trying to find the stadium in New York, you know.
Listen, it's one thing to freeze your ass off.
There's a lot of distractions.
Not only did I freeze my ass off for 3 hours, but we left and we lost. Oh, come on. Yeah, that would suck. But then again, I got some Hennessy. I'll sneak some Hennessy in the game.
Yeah, that's kind of like 19 degrees in Arrowhead and watching us lose, man. That wasn't good.
How did you guys keep up warm?
With Miami Dolphins blankets.
Damn.
Do you guys think the NFL would ever reopen the NFL Europe to have their own completely separate league?
And I mean, you know, Andy Reid's so big that he kind of like kept it warm in the stadium for all of us.
Hey, but the real talk, King Mill. If I do go to the MetLife Takeover, I would like for you to at least go to. I guess we'll meet up at one of the establishments around New York and we'll have a drink. Because I'm definitely gonna meet up with Larry K when I go there.
And when you're sitting behind Cam Wake and he's out there with short sleeves on, you know what I mean? You kind of feel a little petty complaining about the cold.
Yeah, when he out there, he got his arms showing and half t-shirts and whatever he used to wear.
Of course, he was standing behind the heat cyclone.
Well, what's funny is I remember working outside in the cold because I used to do landscaping, and I accidentally slipped and hit my hand on something, and that shit hurt like a motherfucker because it was cold. My hand was cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I could imagine
talk about that.
I could imagine getting sacked by Aaron Donald in that kind of weather.
Mm-hmm.
How that would feel.
Hey, how about getting a throw from Dan Marino in cold weather?
Oh
my
shit!
Goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Your hands.
It was crazy. Is
soft and warm.
Those like I said, the Marx brothers, they didn't wear gloves when I watched them play with Marino.
They sure enough didn't.
Right.
I only did that.
They were skilled.
No, but you know
pass
what?
Catchers.
Yeah. But you know what? Anthony brought up a good point. He was saying something. Do y'all think that the NFL will open back up the NFL Europe?
kind of like the NBA.
NFL Europe. Okay.
Y'all remember NFL Europe?
Hey, let me ask you this, Color.
There used to be World League football.
Let me ask you
With
this:
the Barcelona Dragons and the London Monarchs.
Right.
What's up, Jake?
How would you feel? All right, let's say this is a hypothetical right now. Let's say the NFL said from now on, right from here, this moment on, no more. This as the season comes up, no more wide receivers cannot wear gloves because of this. Because they says it gives them too much of an advantage.
I would try out for training camp.
All receivers have to wear. All receivers can't wear gloves.
Make them use like the old school receivers used to do. Color. Make them stick them.
Would that be
Ask
unfair?
Oakland Raiders about that.
It would definitely thin the herd, Jake.
What exactly you stick?
Or for a better word, it would cull the herd.
Did they ever find out what stickum was? Was that just glue, basically?
Yeah, it's like spray adhesive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but they found out about
known
it.
to the state of California to cause cancer.
No, but Anthony, they found out about it because what happened is that when they used to stick them, it would be all over the ball. After a certain amount of time, it'd be all over the ball. So that's when it was brought to the attention, and they started doing investigation, and then that's when they made it illegal.
A lot of fans say that's why Belinda got into the Hall of Fame because of stickum.
Put a little pine tar on your fingertips, you'll be all right.
Just ask George Brett about that pine tar.
Oh no! Before my audio got cut off, Color, what I was saying for me.
If you want a little extra zing, you use some RSO oil.
For you guys, what is a realistic percentage you guys think the NFL would ever bring back NFL Europe so they don't have to move one of their teams to England or something like that? So
I'm not sure it's ever gone away. They just don't market it the way they used to. I think it still goes on every year. I'm not sure. I have to check on that.
You think so, Color?
I think they do it in some capacity. Or at least up until the last couple of years. Like maybe they're not now, but they were. It was still going on when we didn't know it was going on. Basically,
right?
No, I'm saying
I don't know if it still is, but
no, that's why I'm saying, Color. Maybe market it a lot better. So this is why I'm saying this. I hate that we're making a fan base lose their team because the NFL wants to take away the Jaguars from their fan base because they want to expand into England. Why not just build? You have the infrastructure already in Germany and stuff like that to do a league there. So let's not take away a fan base from a team from a fan base just because you're trying to expand into another country and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can just expand by itself and then just merge the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you having a Super Bowl, it'd be the World Bowl. Just create 32 teams in Europe, 32 teams in Australia, 32 teams in every continent, and just call it the World Bowl at the end of everybody's season. There you go.
Or what would even be a better idea? Okay, let's say you got a European NFL, right? You got an Australian NFL. All right, let's say and out of those, and then we'll add another continent. I would say Asian NFL, just for the sake of the exercise. Okay.
South America, actually.
Okay, South America NFL, even better. And so after all of these Super Bowls, the winners will play in a 4-game tournament.
Right, that's what I was getting at, Shake.
Yeah. To see who will be the actual world champion.
The actual world champions. Yep, exactly.
There you go.
The winners put them in the bracket. Yep, exactly.
And the best thing
the Kansas City Chiefs would have played somebody in Europe since they won our Super Bowl in North America.
And they ain't got nothing to lose because the old fans are still going to recognize the American Super Bowl as the world champions. You know what I mean? It don't matter what we do after that game. You know what I mean?
After the game, right? God forbid if the Chiefs lose to somebody in Asia.
Right. That was just an exhibition game. You know?
And
right.
what would be cool?
Wow.
And what would be cool is, like, for instance, 1 year, like, you know how we have 17 games. So our 17th game was, like, for instance, the AFC. The AFC will the 17th game will be NFL Europe, and in the NFC, their 17th game will be NFL
Asia,
Australia. Yeah, whatever. And then the next year it'll flip. It'll be the
Oceania.
other two. Yeah, it'll be the other two continents.
What? Yeah. So NFL South America wouldn't have to face any of those teams.
Well, yeah. Then the following year it'll reverse. So they'll face, and then the other 7 and AFC games they'll fight. They'll play. You know what I'm saying? They'll switch the continents.
Honestly, that would be kind of cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing
That'd be nice for a nice little free vacation for a lot of people.
The northern NFL teams would be at an advantage because they would get to play the Canadians, bro. Come on, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
That'd
they
be
don't
a
get a
fair
chance.
advantage.
The North America.
Yeah, but they
The
don't.
Vikings
cannot
and the
lose at
Packers
that
and
battle to
everybody
the
would be
Canadians.
playing the Canadians, man. You know, it's not fair.
And don't forget Seattle. Don't forget Seattle would be playing Vancouver, the
Right,
Argonauts.
right.
Vancouver,
What's
And,
the
right?
deal?
Exactly.
and New
Super Bowl
England and all
World
them.
Cup.
New England, Buffalo will be playing, Quebec or Toronto.
Toronto, yep. Yep, they'll be playing. They'll be representing us on that side.
Montreal. Right.
Mhm.
Well, Miami and Dallas Cowboys and Houston will have to play people in teams in Mexico.
Right. We'll play
Well,
the
we have to
Cuban
play
team.
We'll play the
We'll play
Cuban
the
team,
Cuban.
yeah,
We'll play the Cuban and the Dominican and the Brazilian team.
and the Brazilian
And
team,
we
right?
and believe you me, there are some Miami Dolphin fans in Mexico
And
because
we can't leave out our Haitian and Jamaican brothers too. We're gonna play those
Right.
teams too.
The
So
Caribbean.
there'll be a Caribbean league separate from the Latin league.
No,
Right.
Puerto Rico
We'll
would be
let the
considered part
Buccaneers
of.
and Jaguars and the Dolphins split
The
between them
issue
three.
is, would you consider Puerto Rico part of the Caribbean or the
Yeah.
American?
We'll
America.
include
Yeah.
everybody south of Lake Okeechobee will be in the Caribbean league, like Bahamas and everybody.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And Sherfield. Who's that? Sharif would be one of the coaches.
right.
Team.
Yeah, he probably get a chance to get Cesar Ruiz.
There'll be a team in Dry Tortuga. There'll be a team in Dry Tortuga, except they won't be able to fit the stadium on their islands.
You know how they do an expansion draft, so they get the pick from everybody. He goes, my first pick would be Cesar Ruiz. The ones that
Right.
Right. Hey, imagine
Exactly.
that, though. So you got the championship this year is between the Oceania League's winner, which is the Wake Island Zeros, versus
Right.
the versus
Ugandan and
versus the Dry Tortuga Sea Turtles.
Oh, that's a nice name there. I like that.
How do we get up all the Samoan islands? We have to get all the Samoan islands and combine them with.
Well, they
with
got
Hawaii.
defeated by Wake Island, bro. Wake Island was the champion that year in Oceania, right?
Morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
What about
Zamunda people.
the Zamunda?
Yeah, we're gonna play Wakanda in the championship.
Oh right,
Yeah,
right,
we will.
right. We forgot. We gotta have an African league. Absolutely,
Yeah,
gotta have an African league, and we gotta have an Indic. We gotta have an Indic,
Hey,
like an Indic league. The Indic league covers all the Persian peoples, and
Don't forget Tristan Wirfs and Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
the Middle East, the southern part of the Middle East.
Point,
Right.
All teams from Dubai and
right.
what you call it
So
will be
we'll
there.
have a championship between the Dry Tortuga Sea Turtles and the Bangladesh. I don't know what's in Bangladesh.
Basket Cobras.
Right, there you go. The Cobras, the Bangladesh
exactly.
Cobras,
The Cobras,
versus
yep.
the Dry Tortuga Sea Turtles.
Mhm.
Exactly. The Bangladesh Cobras, exactly.
And the runner up was the Burmese Pythons.
Mm. I got a funny feeling that we're heading towards a situation where we're gonna be seeing football all year round, whether it be NFL, XFL, USFL. I think they're trying to
we
make
heading
that
that way.
connection.
We getting it started.
You already
here
have
on
the
Big
AFL,
Tailgate.
in the middle of the summer.
So,
Arena Football League's in the middle of
China's
summer.
just going to take over the whole show, and they're going to be the champions every single year.
Every year they'll have a team in Shanghai and
Right, like 50 years from now, it's going to be all just
Hong Kong.
amalgamated into China, and China's going to be the champion every year.
It'll be the champion every year.
And Anthony, don't forget,
Whether they are or not.
Yeah.
And Anthony, don't forget they televise the Canadian football down here as well.
Now we just have China face India every year in the championship final. The Chinese Dragons versus the Indian Mongoose.
Would they allow a team from Russia to play though? Because
why not?
That's a good question.
Well, maybe now, but I mean, shit. 10 years ago, they were everybody's big friend. You know what I mean? I don't know, like it's weird. Like they went from the Soviets where everybody hated them and we defeated them. Then they were everybody's friend. Now everybody hates them again. So I don't know, man.
Everybody hates them again. Right. Every 30 years they go to being the boogeyman.
But they don't hate him for the same reasons this time around. It's different reasons.
It's a different reason. It's a brand new reason. So by the time 2060 roll around, it'll be a whole new
Before
reason.
it was the Soviets. Now it's the Russians. It's the actual Russians. Like whatever.
The ultimate
Soviets,
commander. Wow,
right.
that looks pretty cool.
It's like how about we just like let them have their own world and
By the way, this is the Bangladesh Commanders mascot right here.
The Bangladesh Commanders.
The Cobra.
The Cobras, right?
The Cobras.
Yes, that's the Cobras.
And it's American football, so you can put a little American feel to it. The Bangladesh Cobra Kais.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't call them the Coyotes because I don't know if they got coyotes over there.
Makes you wonder, Cardinal. Why did Arizona never become the Coyotes?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they already had a hockey team named the Coyotes.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What about the cacti?
Okay.
The Arizona cacti.
The cacti. Yeah.
Or is it cactuses?
Arizona
I think
Honestly,
it's cacti.
the name that would have
Pear
worked
cactus.
well for the Cardinals would be the Desperados.
Nah. Desperado.
Yeah, but then you start getting into the same with the Coyotes. You start getting into them political lines where somebody will dream up some reason it's offensive. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just like with
Especially
the
the Coyotes. You know?
Well, they can always go. Yeah, but that name was adopted from the animal.
Right. Well, again, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. People make whatever they want out of shit.
People can make up an excuse, crypto to make it offensive.
What's the Bangladesh mascots, or what's the Indian? We're gonna call them the mongoose.
You said the
maybe the mongoose.
The tortugas.
You talking about India?
Tortugas. Here are the Tortugas mascots.
Right.
Oh,
Donatello and Leonardo.
But that would be an epic battle between the dry Tortugas versus Tampa Bay. That would be like epic right there.
Yeah, the dry Tortugas. I don't know if Maryland will be happy with that, taking that terrapin away from them.
The dry Tortuga Pirates versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This is a good one. The Russian
that's
polar
a
bears.
good one. That's a good one right there.
What's that? I can't read it.
The Russian polar bears.
There you go.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a good one. That'll be a good face-off between them and the Seahawks.
You could
Polar bear fighting the Seahawks.
You could go benign and call them the Russian traders. Not with a T, with a D, like the traders, because they were known for trading across the north of Europe for a long time.
Are you guys surprised there's not a team in Alaska?
Right. Well, they will be good fighting the Vikings. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. You'd have to find some kind of variation on Viking, and have them up against the Minnesota Vikings. That'd be perfect, man.
Are you guys surprised that there's not a team in Alaska for the NFL?
Yeah, the logistics of that one. They have to figure that one out. But I mean, they can do it.
Ooh,
It's
that's a good
manageable.
question.
I mean, the people would have to take
That's
puddle
good.
jumpers to get to the stadium, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The logistics can be a little bit of a nightmare.
You
You
would
might
have to
have to
Wait a
drive
minute,
start the
but
Florida.
NFL season early.
Hey, by the
You might
way,
have
the
to start
Russian
the
polar
season in
bears.
July.
By the way, the Russian polar bears already got their mascot. There you go.
yeah, but don't
They're
Alaska
sponsored
have
by Coca Cola.
Coca-Cola
longer
Bears. Coca-Cola,
nights than it?
you love it.
Don't Alaska have longer nights? See that
Reminds
interfere
me
with
of that
them having
old
a team.
Coca-Cola song. I
What's
like
that,
to
Mr. Paul?
teach the world to see.
No, I was saying that because Alaska has longer nights, that will interfere with them having a team, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
yeah. Oh, everything would be a night game.
Yeah, because they have longer nights than they
Actually,
have
wait,
days.
it's in the winter. Wouldn't everything? No, everything would be a day game. No, they're in the northern hemisphere. Everything will be a night game. Yeah.
Man, Alaskan tunnel
Alaskan
rats.
tunnel rats.
Man, how many tunnel rats? Whoa,
Oh
that's a new
wow.
one on me. The tunnel rats. Okay.
Well,
That's
they could
interesting,
be
G.
the
I didn't know they had
no,
them up there.
they're the stepchild of the New York Jets. They're the Alaska puddle jumpers.
Yeah.
Oh no, here's one the Alaskan moose.
Yeah.
Yes, the Alaskan moose. Exactly.
Texas
That's one. You're
toasters.
right, Mr. Polk.
That's and
And
that's another one where you'd have to go with an abstract name like the hockey team, the Minnesota Wild. You'd go with the Alaska Wild or some crap like that. You know
that's
what I
why I
mean?
thought Las Vegas was going to change their football team too. The Wild,
No, I thought they were going
Mm.
to change them to
Las
the
Vegas Wild.
Las Vegas Gamblers.
Yeah,
The
that was
Las
Yeah.
Vegas, the Las Vegas, everything stays here's.
Wow.
No,
What's done in
but
Vegas stays in
naming
Vegas.
naming a football team the Las Vegas Gamblers would be too on the nose. That would be the problem.
I know, I know.
the Las Vegas
It would.
casinos.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So hey, let me ask you all
Oh
this.
no,
Let me ask
they
you
could
this.
have called them the Vegas bosses.
Let me ask you this: Do you think that the
Yeah.
NFL should do a triple, like say for a triple A team, so that way you could what you call it? Don't poach their players. Here
Well,
you go,
that's
Lewis.
precisely what
Don't
Anthony
poach 'em.
was talking about. How they plan to use the USFL and the XFL, and he's on to
Oh,
something that
that's
they have been
that's a
talking
good
about
one
that
right
kind of
there.
thing.
The Ice Fishers. Lewis
Yeah,
came in
that's
with
a
a
good
good one. The Ice Fishers.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so as Anthony, that's what
Yeah, ice
Anthony
fishing.
was saying that they were talking about behind the scenes, and they have been, kind of trying to use it as a farm system,
Yeah,
get
but
players in that otherwise, because there is the life aspect of everything that sometimes shoots players opportunities out, where if a guy were just be able to come out of college undrafted
mhm.
or even leave college, play football professionally where he's making actually like a $75,000 a year paycheck, like any other job you would get out of college or early in life, so that they're compensated and paid and able to continue their craft so that they can eventually make it to the heights of the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, but
Yeah.
the only problem is even if you get, like, let's say for instance you do make the XFL and the USFL a farm system, right? Would you say there's only 16 teams? So would you assign two teams
I don't think it would be clear cut like baseball like that. I think it would just be everybody has
Yeah.
pickings off the whole pool. But
Off the
the
whole,
thing
yeah,
of
it
it,
could
what
be.
it creates, what it actually creates, Shake. My further thought on it was competition for the colleges. I mean, now you have a case where a kid can say, forget college, or maybe I can actually study in college, and then I can go do this part-time job basically of playing in this league where I'm
Mhm.
making good enough money to support myself, yet I don't necessarily have to go through the college system to get drafted by the NFL. They may even have, as Tony was suggesting, an expansion to that would be a separate draft that just comes off of the farm system. Like we got the college draft and then we got the farm system draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But but I think that's where the NIL deals combat them a little bit.
Sure. Well, that's why the NFL is like, you know what? We don't care about amateur anymore because they don't care about it anymore. So we're just going to directly compete with them. And if we can create this farm system, then that's a competition. The colleges won't have that monopoly.
Yeah.
Because those part-time football players making $75,000 a year could equally get endorsement deals, you know.
But it's like, for instance, who in the XFL or the ASF can you really mention that's going to put butts to the seats?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
you mean bring fans?
Like for instance, last year, right?
You're teasing me, Shake.
We brought in. I know not Tua. I'm talking about. we brought in Tyreek Hill, and season tickets went from here to, you know what I'm saying? We brought in a name that I could even go as far as when we brought in Ndamukong Suh, that brought excitement to the franchise.
And the word you're looking there is legitimacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we brought in Ndamukong Suh. I remember when we brought in Brandon Marshall, the fan base got excited. How excited the fan base got when we brought in Brandon Marshall. You know?
Brandon Marshall broke my coffee cup.
And so, then what's that other guy?
I can name a lot of franchises that we didn't draft, obviously. I mean, free agents moves that we didn't draft that excited the fan base, you know? Brandon Marshall was one of them. Ndamukong Suh,
Cameron Wake.
Wallace was another one. I don't think Cameron Wake kind of earned his excitement, in my opinion. Nobody was really clamoring for Cameron Wake when we signed him. Like they were like, "Who the fuck?" Like in the words of McGregor, "Who the fuck was that guy?" But no.
I'll tell you where this all started. You know what happened that started this whole trend of mediocrity that we're on right now, right? Mm-hmm. The one event that kicked it all off, the injury of Trent Green. We are still paying for missing out on Trent Green because of his early injury when we brought him in. You
talking about the guy from Oregon?
No, Trent Green. Remember when we brought Trent Green in?
Reggie Bush was another, yeah.
You talking about quarterback, right?
Yeah, Trent Green. We brought him in for like.
He was actually a legit QB1. Yeah. And we were about to take off with him, and he got injured, and we've never gotten a guy since that even had that.
That's the same thing happened with Dante Culpepper. You never got a chance to take off. Yeah. When we signed him, he never played.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt that off season.
Yeah,
also no Sean Marino.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing people forget is that I remember this, bro, because I lived in Miami. People are downgrading the Dante Culpepper signing now because hindsight is 2020. But before then, if I was to inject you with a truth serum, and ask you, were you excited? Were you excited for that Dante Culpepper? You will say, "Fuck yes, you were."
Tell him, Shake.
I was head over heels.
Don't let him forget, Shake. Never forget, Shake. You tell him. All these people, all these Drew Brees sycophants. They're like, oh, the Drew Brees, we missed out. Oh, bullcrap! Every single one of you were like, no, forget that broken arm. We're going with Dante Culpepper. That was lighting the league up. That was lighting the league up with Randy Moss in Minnesota for like 3 years straight. Okay.
Yep. Him and Chris Carter.
None of y'all weren't excited over Dante Culpepper.
Oh, that's right.
You're
Chris
straight
Carter.
lying if you say that. Just like Shake said, you're straight lying. You need truth serum.
Dude, here's the thing.
They do.
I never seen a Leo Clemens jersey. I never seen a Pat White jersey. I've never seen a John Beck jersey.
Like Leo Clemens.
I've never seen a Pat White jersey. I've never seen a John Beck jersey. But I have seen a shitload of Culpepper jerseys out there. So that tells you something. If you see a bunch of Culpepper jerseys, they only make jerseys of players that they know they're going to
bro, when you talk about Patriots, fucking Culpepper was the spy that won the American Revolution, man. Are you kidding me?
But you want to hear something strange? When I found out that Culpepper was coming to the Dolphins, I wasn't too excited about it because I knew of his injury at the time, and that was a big question mark for him for him coming to the
But we
Dolphins.
were
I knew.
thinking,
Wait a minute.
Mr.
What did
Puck, but
Lewis
we
say?
were
I didn't
thinking,
get that, Shake Money.
He says,
What did Lewis say?
He says he hated the Culpepper, of course, but it doesn't matter. Listen, that's not the point. The point is there was
Culpepper
more.
was the stud.
There was more people that liked the Culpepper. Those it's kind of like
there
now
wasn't
it's
what the point Shake is making. There wasn't nobody saying, what if Drew Brees ends up panning out with whoever he goes to?
Dude, there's a lot. You could tell there's Culpepper jerseys out there.
Yeah.
So people bought Culpepper jerseys.
I mean, he was a big Marino-style quarterback that we were all on board with. Most of us were on board with, man. And again,
yeah,
even if
number
you weren't
8.
on board, you weren't out there going, well, what if we miss out on Drew Brees coming back? Nobody was saying that until after it
I was
happened.
excited. I admit I was excited for us getting Culpepper. And I thought no way Tannehill
And
was
now we're like,
him.
right, and now our hands are perpetually tied behind our back because everybody's afraid that we might give up the next Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
So tired of
that's
that,
what's keeping
man.
them from right.
There's 1,600 players in the league. There's 1,600 players in the league, and only 53 of them are on our roster. All right, so you're gonna have guys that did something elsewhere. None of y'all were complaining that we didn't get Tyreek Hill.
Right.
When he's lighting it up in Kansas City.
Yeah, they wasn't right. They wasn't clamoring over Tyreek.
By the way, still remains the only place that I've seen Tyreek Hill score a touchdown live was in Arrowhead in a Chiefs uniform.
Wasn't he drafted in the 4th or 5th round? People forget about that.
My point was, Crypto, whoever we drafted in that round, there wasn't no Dolphin fans going, well, what if we miss out on the talent that is Tyreek Hill?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do it now with like things like, oh, we could have gotten so-and-so instead of Noah. But I mean, come on, man. You'd be saying the same thing about Noah if the situation was reversed.
Yeah, we could have gotten Noah at 29. Noah goes to the Jets and gets 10 interceptions a season.
Well, let me tell you this. How do you think Pittsburgh Steelers fans feel about Noah?
Hey, by the way, Lewis, I know you had one of these jerseys, and I know that's not Javon Holland. I know you had a Dante Culpepper jersey. You see?
Yeah, he wore it on stream the other night.
Dante Culpepper jersey? Yes, he did.
Yeah. He wore it on stream. He was
Seriously,
rocking it.
though. Seriously, though, the name Culpepper. The name Culpepper was a derivation of the name Culper, which was the name of the spy that basically like won the American Revolution. With
didn't Culpepper go to a school
part
here
of the revolution
in Florida? I think he's from the Florida school.
Was
actually,
he was in a game.
Yeah, he did.
He
did go to school down there, didn't he?
I think he went to a college. I think he went to a university, college here in Florida.
Not FAU.
Right,
not FAU, no.
No, I'm not saying FAU. I gotta look that up. I gotta look it up.
Maybe FAMU up north.
No, he ain't come from there. I gotta look it up. Unless I'm getting him mixed up with.
By the way, shout out to the FAMU Rattlesnakes. I think their mascot is.
Yeah.
Rattler.
Yeah, they got the best freaking marching band in the country. Everybody, make sure you check them out.
Actually, when I used to go to high school, I went to high school in Miami, and so I watched Carroll City versus Central. I used to go to a lot of Northwestern games. Northwestern versus Central, Northwestern versus Jackson, Northwestern versus. And the one thing that I used to enjoy. It was halftime. Was the battle of the bands in between halftime?
Oh yeah,
I miss those.
Yeah, but see, all that originated from FAMU.
Yep. Mr. Polk, my music teacher / I wasn't in the band, but in most high schools, the band instructor usually doubles as the music teacher for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, my music teacher at Palm Beach Lakes High. Was personal friends with the band instructor for FAMU during that time, and so we got we did a lot of cross stuff with them, like watched a lot of their stuff. He showed us a lot of their goods, you know what I mean? And like he was like the Palm Beach Lakes High band was like he kind of fashioned himself as the high school version of FAMU. You know what I mean? Like he was real proud.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had a pretty good band at Palm Beach Lakeside.
Yeah, because that what FAMU did, what the band did, caught on, with other colleges and high school schools as well. But they're original, and right now even though they're called the Marching 100, they are really more like the Marching 400 because their band has expanded to the point where they're performing all over the country and around the world.
There's people that would argue that movie Drumline was modeled after theirs. You know what I mean? Like you could argue that.
Hey, sorry, Ali, I didn't know you were back there.
Oh no, that's all right. You could definitely argue that the Drumline was filmed after FAMU. That's definitely.
And if I'm not mistaken, they are classified as an HBCU, right?
I believe so.
And if I would say something real quick, Shake, if I were to say something about Palm Beach Lakes High, if they were to put that designation on high schools, that would be Palm Beach Lakes High.
What you were saying, Shake?
Yeah.
I was saying, here's Culpepper's #1 fan, Lewis. What's going on?
Hey, I know, fella, and what's going on, fellas? I know
What's going on?
I know we're short on content, and we're just talking about whatever. And it's been a great conversation. You guys are getting me through work. But I knew Culpepper was going to be a bust. Let's not make it seem like Culpepper was lighting up the fucking.
Bro, what were you, like 10 years old, bro? Come on, man.
No,
but
for real, I wanted Breeze. For real, I wanted Breeze. No joke.
Hold on.
No cap.
When was Culpepper playing? And what years?
With
like
Randy
1947 or something?
No. You're right. He 9,000 around that era, correct? Probably even later.
I don't know. It was back when they invented your cell phone.
No, it wasn't. Listen, I was in my 20s, I believe, already when we got Culpepper. And I'm going to tell you right now, Culpepper was a bum. That guy was throwing to Randy Moss, and just because you got a cannon for an arm and you can throw it 70 yards down the field, and Randy Moss can jump higher than anybody in the building and run faster than anybody in the league, don't tell me he was lighting up the league.
But who'd we have at wide receiver at that time?
It didn't matter who we had.
Didn't we have
somebody with arguably similar skills to Randy Moss, if I remember correctly, Chris Chambers.
Yeah, we had Chris Chambers. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Chambers.
And I guarantee. And what happened? And what happened?
No, because
I think at 20-something years old, you were pretty high up on the Dunning-Kruger slope still, man.
Did he get injured in the very first game? It was like the very first game he got injured in, didn't he?
No, it was a preseason.
And then he ended up flipping us off, like us fans, like we had something to do with it. You know what I mean?
That guy's a fucking
but
he didn't play a regular season game for us.
When he got hurt at Minnesota, and then he ended up coming to the Dolphins, I was not up on that because I knew that this man's injury was going to cause a problem for the team.
Right.
I knew that.
See, I believe everything Mr. Paul says.
I wasn't excited for Dante Culpepper coming to our team. Same thing with No Sean Marino, because No Sean Marino, great as he was, if I'm not mistaken, with the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
When he came to us, he was also hurt too, and he gave us 1 or 2 good games, but that was it.
Now I believe everything that comes out of Mr.
That's why I'm
Paul's
so
mouth,
against it.
and I will believe you, Lewis, because I know you to be a forthright and honest man, bro. So I will believe you too. Anybody else saying Ali, because Ali is the technocrat. So anybody else? No, sorry. Capitan want to come up here? Capitan want to come up here and say he was off Culpepper? I'm gonna call him a straight liar, man.
Damn. Hey,
no, but like I said, I was living in Miami.
I've never said that color. I've said I wanted him.
There you go.
I was living in Miami at the time, so I seen the excitement.
Are you guys? Any of you guys excited for the USFL tonight or today? I should say.
Short answer, no.
Not until they merge. Not until they merge everybody, Ali.
Right now,
I'm talking about the merger.
Well, no.
I'm watching FSL right now.
I know. I'm watching Vegas versus the Roughnecks right now, but my question is, the reason I'm asking is because I watched this commercial that the USFL had, and they're making it out like it's almost like they're trying to compete with the XFL now. Like they're trying to, make everything seem to be, we're a return of professional football league, like it went anywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I wanted to see what your guys' perspective of the USFL was. So.
I mean, both FSL and UFSL to me are not on the same league as the NFL, but seem like to me they're trying to put their schedule where how should I put it? Where they can shine, because like I mentioned earlier, that when the XFL season is over, now you got the USFL season starting, and I want to see how far that's going to run close to the NFL.
The only thing I don't like about the USFL, they play all the games in the exact same stadium. There's no going to a different
I saw that. I saw that, bro.
No, but the XFL
and it's Birmingham Stadium. That's what it's like. What a coinky dink.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't like. But I do
I'm telling you.
I will say this. I hold on, Color. I just want to land real quick. I do like the XFL for the fact that they can use it almost to test out different rules that they could bring to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like how they're different with the kickoffs and the punts and stuff. That's different. Mm-hmm. And I also kind of really like the fact that you can not just go for 1 or 2. You could even go for 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I like
and
that.
Then, one of the things I like, and I don't know if it came from the FSL or USFL, is when you have I can see a wide receiver switching from one side and run around in motion to the other side, and then almost taking off. Is that what they do? They've been doing that. I'm sorry, I take that back.
Ali, did you bring up the 1, 2, and the 3-point rule?
Yeah, I want to say it's 1, 2, and 3, and depending on where you want the ball spotted, that's how many points you're going for. The further back you are, it's not like if you're going for 2 or whatever. It's not at a certain yard. It's if you're going for 2, it's at a certain spot, and then if you're going for 3, I think it's at even further back.
Well, I'll say this: if you enjoy the USFL, you are definitely a patriot. It's got US in the name.
By the way, Mark? That's Mark. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that.
No, it's Robert Kraft.
Actually,
today, Ali, we were all patriots.
You ever seen the show The Nanny?
Yeah.
That's Color sounds like the nanny impersonating Robert Kraft.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's
brutal.
But what do y'all think of the USFL kick thing where the kicker kicks the ball and they wait till the receiver gets it and then.
Oh, you mean the XFL? You mean that they do that? In? Yeah, I kind of like it. It makes it kind of interesting, but then again, it's also kind of making it easier on the offensive side of special teams. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's it has its pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really wish they would have done the 2-point rule in the NFL or the onside kick in the NFL. Man, that would have been really cool, man. I actually like that idea of giving them a 4th and 20 or whatever instead of an onside kick.
Somebody
about to score a touchdown.
Like when you score a touchdown.
Who's playing?
Yeah, they were proposing that instead of if time's down, instead of an onside kick, you could choose to have a 4th and 20.
Yeah,
if you convert that 4th and 20, you've got a new series.
It's Vegas playing Houston.
What channel is it on?
But the thing is, Color.
It's on ABC.
But the thing is, Color, you're automatically giving them the ball back.
Right, but you're giving it to them on their own 25 with 4th and 20. They're already getting the ball back, and they're kicking the ball off. They're in possession of the football already. It's just a matter of allowing them to use more than their foot to get the ball back. You know what I mean?
In fact, Terrell Buckley is one of the head coaches in it.
So backing them up on their own 20-yard line.
He's the Orlando.
Well, they already kick off from the 30, right?
Rod Woodson
Or
also
25 or something.
Yeah.
So wherever they kick off from, they would give them the ball there on a 4th and 20.
What would happen to
Yeah,
Sherman
that's
Edwards?
crazy. Yeah, but a lot of things could go wrong. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, they might get a holding call that's an automatic first down. You know.
I mean, the thing of it is, though,
Well, yeah.
Crypto, your defense could still stop them on that series. I mean, you know, if they
Yeah,
couldn't
you just
score
back
on you all
them
game,
all
what
the way
the
back, and they're on 20 yards.
right?
Yeah,
They're just talking about how
give it to a
they're
4th and
just
20.
thinking about how the onside kicks percentages are so low that it's almost like a moot point. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they want to
Anybody know-
actually make it
Yeah.
something, you know, like an interesting point, like strategically interesting point of the game, you know.
Anybody know if Herm
Yeah.
Edwards is still at Arizona State?
I haven't heard that he isn't. I'd assume he still is. That's another hard nose that came in the league right when everybody's getting too soft.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure what tree he was up under, because he was under
Actually,
somebody's
he was
coaching
under
tree.
he's under the he falls under the Tony Dungy tree.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Him and Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like Tony Dungy. That dude is a chameleon, man. Don't ever piss him off. Don't let him
And
fool
you
you.
know what
Yep. Tony
he's a
Dungy.
good coach, but he has a very calm demeanor.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying, though. Give him,
He
stand up
speaks
to him with
softly
a
and carries
football,
a
though,
big
and see
stick.
what happens.
I hear you.
Mr. Polk, let me ask you this. How do you like the XFL in regards to two things? This is a two-part question. First part is, how do you like the fact that when they have to do the instant replay review, instead of being somewhere, like, instead of being a secret on what they're seeing on TV, you can see them talking to the person in the room with all the monitors and everything. And not only is he telling them what he sees and what the call is, but he turns around and looks at the camera and tells the audience what just happened.
I love it, Ollie.
I think the NFL should do that personally.
Even if it didn't make a difference. I'm sorry, Mr. Polk. I know the question was for you. I was just going to say, even if it didn't make a difference in what the fans, in the integrity.
Yeah,
that's so fun as a fan of the sport, bro. I just love to be in on that conversation all the time, man.
Yeah, that's part one. The second part of my question was, like they're doing right now, they're interviewing coaches as the game is being played. Do you think that's good, bad? Do you like them interviewing coaches during the game, like in the middle of games? Do you like that instead of being after the first quarter or after the halftime or whatever?
I don't really see no harm in that. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I don't really see no harm. I don't see no harm in it.
As a fan, I'm asking, do you like it as a fan?
Do I like it as a fan? That's a good one.
By the way, Herm Edwards was fired September 28th, September 18th, 2022 from Arizona State.
So okay. So he's not with Arizona State.
Fired from Arizona State. Damn.
Yep.
Okay, that's why. Because I kept. I know I heard something about him not being there no more. So I was trying to figure out what happened to him. Ollie, that's that question, man. That's, I don't know. That's, as a fan. That's a good question.
No, for me, I kind of like it because like they can talk about what they see during the game a little bit and be like, the defensive line is not penetrating, the offensive line good enough, or we're not getting the pressure. We can see where their head is at, kind of. That's kind of where I'm looking at it.
As long as they keep it short and not take up, too much time away from
too much. Yeah, exactly.
From halftime, that's my own thing about that.
Oh yeah. I hear you. What do you guys think?
At the same time, Ollie, I almost think it might be irrelevant because how many coaches would use that as an avenue to put false information out there? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, their defensive line is killing us. Like that's really what you're worried about, but you're really not. You know what I mean? It ends up getting to a point where the fans can't really trust a word out of their mouth anyway. You know,
I got a question for the panel. I know it's in college football that on the sidelines you have 3 people calling plays. I know 2 of them are not calling the real plays. One is really calling the plays. Are they doing that in the NFL, or could they do it in the NFL?
No, because in the NFL, the quarterback generally calls every play.
Mm-hmm. Because
like they're doing it through the headset, so they don't have a need for.
And see, that's the
sign
thing.
language.
I don't remember in college football. I don't remember that years back. I'm, just now I'm starting to notice that you have 3 people calling plays in, and only one of them is really calling the right play.
I also like in the XFL, you can hear the play being called too, so you know what the offense is calling.
Yeah.
Before the play happens.
Yeah.
Oh, how about after they scored a touchdown? I seen a guy, he scored a touchdown or got a sack. They interview the player right after the play.
Oh yeah.
Get his thoughts.
I seen that in this game right here.
Little different things that they're doing to make it more like they're bringing the audience to the field, basically.
Right, exactly.
Make it more interactive.
They always have kind of done those things, Ali. I'm just thinking is that all they're going to end up ever bringing to the table? Like I could see that kind of stuff being added to the NFL, making a difference. But if that's their only go-to, like, are they going to end up following it up with talent and good games and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Or is it always just going to be, we get to hear the guy on the sideline or the play being called? You know what I mean? Like in that particular case, I don't know if you'll ever see that in the NFL because they could add that to their post-game video sessions where they're like, well, on this particular situation the other night, according to the network broadcast, they called this play. Like they could make correlations that way in retro, even if it doesn't affect the game in real time. You know what I mean?
Oh man!
Like they could use that just like looking at film. Like imagine if they were looking at film and they had the ability to hear their opponents calling plays while they're watching game film from the other day. Yeah,
Bill Belichick could be one of the main ones doing that.
Right? They'd almost have to change their language every week.
Yep.
I would say the only way they could do that really good is if they have like a minute delay in between broadcasting. So
again, I'm not concerned about real time, Shake. I don't think that's, like you said, there's fixes for that, like you're saying. But when it comes to watching the game film the next week, they're, imagine today if the players in the NFL go and watch game film on Tuesday or whatever. Now imagine that game film having their coach calling the plays, you know what I mean, with their language and all that, So they would have that ability, even if it wouldn't affect the game in real time.
Yeah, because they got like for instance, the Patriots is going to play us again, so they're going to go off the game film.
We would have to change our language every week,
Yeah.
Or what we do in various situations. Oh well. Last time on 4th and 1, they called a ZYX out, wiggle freaking whatever. You know what I mean?
A spider wide banana.
Right. Spider wide banana.
Good grief.
Polyester. Set.
That's crazy. But
did you guys hear what I said? I think I was on mute. I was saying Memphis Showboat 44. That's what I'd be calling it.
I wonder if Tannehill was like, God, can we please get a miracle? Set hut.
In fact, they're interviewing a player right now on the XFL, John Lovett. Wait a minute. That's not the one.
Yeah, we just cut him, dude. John Lovett.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, we just cut him. Fullback, right?
Yeah, but he's been getting a lot of ball this game here and been running pretty well. But like I said, it's a different level. That's why I say the USFL and XFL, they're not on the
those
same
leagues
level
are.
as the NFL. Not the same level. You can
Who
see
is
it.
who is the Alabama quarterback? I think it was McFarland or something like that. McCarron. I think it was McCarron. Something
McCarron,
like that.
AJ McCarron. That sounds about right.
He plays in the XFL and he was balling, bro. He looked
Oh,
like
you're talking about McLaren. McLaren. I
no,
think his last
McCarron.
name is
I think it's AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron, no L.
It's not McLaren.
No, it's McCarron.
He's balling, bro. That guy plays for I want to say it's the St. Louis team. He's really good.
St. Louis has a team?
Yeah, dude, you don't understand. The St. Louis team, they sold out their stadium pretty much. 38,000 tickets they sold out in a game.
Take that, Stan Kroenke.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Damn.
St. Louis is a sports town. Whoever took that team from them, dude, he's a douchebag.
Yeah, catch the earlier part of the show. You'll get the whole story on that, Ollie.
Oh, you guys? I don't know.
I kind of went through the whole Stan Kroenke debacle.
Yeah, and Caleb Ballage is hurt. He was on one of the US SFL teams as well. Caleb Ballage.
I wonder. So, what channel is all them games on?
Yeah.
Well, right
regular
now,
network.
Some of them on regular networks now. Yeah,
Well,
some
so
of them being carried by local networks.
XFL has the Disney contract, so any affiliate of Disney, ABC, ESPN, all of those will have XFL. USFL is on Fox, I believe. They have all the Fox.
Oh, so I can put it on. I can put it on antenna.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. Another cool thing about the XFL games, you can watch them on YouTube. They allow you to watch them on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that too. You can do that too.
And it's a game coming on at 7:00 at XFL game.
I gotta catch St. Louis, man. That's the team right there.
Let me see if I can pull up their schedule, the XFL schedule. Because, like I said, I'm a football fanatic, so I just love football. Period. But
what's your favorite XFL team, Ali?
Not Orlando.
Unfortunately, I'm from Florida, so I root for them.
I'm kind of a Roughneck fan. If I don't like Roughneck, I want to say I kind of like the St. Louis. I think they're called the Battlehawks. I think that's what they call them. I think that's what they are. Roughnecks are Houston. This thing for me is like the people that are coaching in this league are former, stars of the NFL when it comes to coaching or player.
I'm looking at Rod Woodson right now.
What's up, Molly Mar? What's on your mind?
Rod Woodson.
Yeah, he's the head coach
of
the
explain college.
Say Molly Mall's up here?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. What's up, man?
Can you guys hear me?
Well, I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to get up here and explain why college has 4 people calling the plays. I used to play D1, and I transferred to a Howard University to play football. College has 4 people calling plays because one person is calling the offensive line plays, one person is giving the signal to the wide receiver, and one person is giving the signal to the running back. The only person that gets the headset is the quarterback, so he has the ability to audible, but everybody else is looking to the sideline to see their specific role. In college, the quarterback only gets 2 parts of the play. Everybody else looks to the sideline. So if you
that makes so much complete sense, man.
If you ever watch FSU or Miami, because I know you guys are from Florida, notice how your wide receivers always look to the sideline. Your O-line always look to the sideline.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's almost like almost like there's a pause.
The coaches, it's not a fake play. It's just what they got to do on that specific play.
Right. It's like a pause, and they all look to the sideline.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you explained that because now that clears things up.
Yeah, thanks for that, man.
Yes, goodness. That's why they say you learn something new every day.
So, Marty Moore, who's your favorite XFL team? If you don't mind me asking, or do you have one?
DC Commanders.
DC Commanders.
Yeah, DC.
So their XFL team is the same as their NFL team?
Oh my God! I said DC Commanders. What is their name? DC.
Oh, I was gonna say, man.
Defenders.
Oh, the Defenders. Yeah. Oh, okay. That would have been crazy.
Which is crazy that the XFL name is better than the NFL name.
They. I live in DC. They couldn't. That's the only name that was available. Like the Warriors, the high school here, the high school in DC, copyrighted that. The pigs, like the hog pig, is copyrighted. So all the names that went with DC are copyrighted by high school.
What about the Red Tails?
It's copyrighted. It's a high school.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, you're right. It's the DC Defenders, Seattle Dragons, St. Louis Battlehawks, San Antonio Brahmas, Orlando Guardians, Houston Roughnecks, Vegas Vipers, and Arlington Renegades.
Because at first they was going to take the Defenders name and put it as the NFL name, but the XFL said they was coming back, so they couldn't take that name.
Okay, that sounds like, yeah, makes sense. But I think Red Tails would have been a better name, to be honest with you.
People hated it. I'm a Cowboys fan. I gotta live with these people. They hated that name.
Oh damn, you're like my best friend Joe. My best friend Joe is a Cowboys fan too.
Yeah. They hated that Red Tails suggestion.
Well, who do you guys want with your first draft?
Me, I want Bijan. If I can't get Bijan, I want Brian Reese, or I can't pronounce his name, but some Reese.
Oh yeah, you get Bijan. Yeah, you keep them right in the state of Texas. You probably would like that.
Oh shit! You know how many jersey sales that will have because of that? What made you a Cowboys fan? If you don't mind me asking, I know that just because I know you're from the Texas doesn't. Well, you're from the DC area. What made you a Cowboys fan?
Around the age of 7 or 8 is when I became a Cowboys fan. Mind you, we was losing at that time, but my favorite player was Emmitt Smith. So
okay, that's what's up. I love Emmitt Smith. I'll show you one reason why I love Emmitt Smith. Right there.
Yeah, so my favorite player was Emmitt Smith, and from there on out, I was a Cowboys fan through the 5-11 days, through the 8-8 days, going back to back, and now through the Dak Prescott leading the NFL interception days.
What's depressing for the Gators is we only have 2 Hall of Famers, and Emmitt is one of them in the NFL. That's crazy.
Do you guys know if Dallas is in Miami, or do y'all come to Dallas?
Hey, Shake Money.
Yes, sir.
Who's the other one? Is it Tim Tebow? Is the other one?
No, some guy. I think he used to wear leather helmets.
I thought Tim Tebow would have been the other one. My bad.
No. He's in the imaginary Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness.
No, the NFL Hall of Fame. Yeah. But which I tell you what, Tim Tebow has more playoff wins than most quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So.
He has more playoff wins than Tua.
That's true.
Just being honest.
And appearances.
Easy,
I'm just saying it's true. I mean,
I'm up in here talking that Tua hate.
Oh, I thought this was a safe space. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
This is.
No, Ali, I've been labeled as a wolf pack. CB83.
Hey, you guys see my name on the screen, right? Look underneath my name on the screen.
Hold on. Hey, everybody knows that's Lewis's title. This is
no. See, he's the enforcer of the wolf pack. I'm just the president. I'm the one that decided I'm going to actually make it a thing.
Yeah.
So listen. I don't. You can love Tua or hate Tua or just be a critic and be part of the wolf pack. It don't matter. You can say whatever you feel, and you'll be labeled as part of the Wolfpack. That's the reality of it.
Oh,
For me,
that's a fact.
If Tua was in the playoffs playing and scoring touchdowns, and let's say he got the experience, but we still lost, I may not be so hard on it. But the fact is, we've been waiting for 3 years, bro, and he was a top 5 pick, and that's what hurts the most. If he wasn't a top 5 pick, let's say he was a low first round pick, then we might not be feeling this way that we do. That's the reality of it, to be honest. I mean, that's how I.
Hey, listen, one of the reasons I'm in the Wolfpack it's not because of Tua. Because I came out on my stance on Tua, but it's because of I'm on a Brian Forrest apologist.
Okay.
That's why. Said it was USFL it was on. Liars.
No, USFL. They're playing today at 4:30 on Fox, and also at 7:30 on Fox.
Hey, by the way, I appreciate Ali, the TFTG group supporting me here over at the Fur Fam. I'm going to be going to live tonight. I'm going to get some practice. I'm going to be reaching out to you, Ali, to get some practice on the draft simulator. I got the link that you sent me. I'm going to be doing some drafts on the Finstel network. I'm doing some drafts on the Finstel network tonight. So hopefully you guys join me for that. So
4:30.
All right, now I got some football on. All right.
So,
I feel whole again.
I'm gonna get some rest for tonight. Tonight at 10 o'clock, we're on the Finn's Tailgate Network. We're gonna get
Tua playing color. Is Tua playing?
No.
Because he's in the line. He's not in the lineup on the television.
We'll do some trade up, some trade down. So, which one does the trade? The trades is the link you sent me, right, Ali?
Well, crypto is if it make you feel good, it's a guy named Tamu. He's playing in the XFL.
Why do they have like 500 players on the?
I think his name Jordan Tamu. I'm not too sure.
But anyway, I'm gonna get some rest. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's do some final thoughts. Molly Mall, you have any final thoughts?
I appreciate y'all accepting me up here. I listen to y'all all the time, even though I'm not a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, you're always, like I said, my best friend is a Cowboys fan, so you're always welcome here. And at the
my cousin is a Cowboys fan.
So yeah,
I'll be in the comments all the time. So I'll catch y'all later. I'll be listening.
All right, man. Be safe, man. Appreciate you. Peace.
Appreciate you, man. Definitely.
Crazy.
I've been waiting to say hi to Molly forever, man. That's cool.
Hey, Mr. The newest member of the Wolfpack, what's your final thoughts?
Well, as the newest member of the Wolfpack, I appreciate being on the show. Shake Money, Caller, Crypto. All is good to see you, my brother. I haven't seen you in a little while, but it's good to see you. I'm finna enjoy some UFL and some more XFL today, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pack.
Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem.
I'm there.
Definitely.
I'm there.
Welcome aboard.
Ali, final thoughts?
Shake, man, I always got your back, bro. You're always welcome on my show or any of my pre-recorded shows, definitely. In fact, we were going to ask you if you want to do that on the regular. We'll talk behind bars.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for the draft coming up. I'm excited for the off season, and we can get into preseason. But make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications for Shake on any network that he's on.
Yes, here and in the Finn's Tailgate.
Definitely.
That's what's up. All right, thanks, Ali.
No problem.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
We'll see you
all
around,
right,
Ali.
Mr. Crypto. Remember, we're still keep Stephen D. If you're listening. And that's a big if. But if you are, we're still keeping tabs of your hot dog total to this man right here, Crypto. Final thoughts.
Yeah, man. We're going to have enough hot dogs to feed everybody at the tailgate soon enough.
I tell you what, they watch on the bets, I tell you, man.
Just make sure you have some mustard. That's all. Hey, Shake Money.
All right. Yes.
Hey,
sir.
I moved it up 50 years. Now I'm at 2030 now for my expectations. So if we any more false moves, we're going back. We're going to go back 50 plus years. It'll be 2050, 2080, 2090. So
well, I tell you
I'm a little optimistic now. I think we can do it by 2030 now.
I'm gonna still have those. I still have. I remember I reserved those 2080 tickets, so I'm gonna keep them just in case. All right.
Yeah. Big Shake money. Keep them
All right,
just
my
in
brother.
case, man. Have them on standby.
All right, brother.
All right,
I'll
man.
see you. All right, man. Thanks, man. My brother, color commentary. Final thoughts, please. And I appreciate you for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure,
thank
man.
you for,
my
and
pleasure.
thank you for letting me know I sent out the wrong link.
Oh, that's cool, man. They kept pushing me back, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Why am I all alone in here? And why am I already up on stage? Then I saw it said show ended. I'm like, oh, this is last night's backstage.
So
anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking I'll make a way too early Super Bowl prediction that cannot be proven wrong. The Miami Dolphins will either win the Super Bowl or they will not win the Super Bowl.
yes. And
prove me wrong.
And if they score more points than the other team, they will win.
Right.
All right, my brother. Thank you, man.
All right, take it easy, Shake. I'll catch you.
Again, tonight, I'm going to be doing a mock draft on the Finn's Tailgate. Check me out next week here on Larry's channel. And, of course, this Thursday, I am going to be having Iceman as a guest in the blender. I'm working on Chef Jew and then Tyler Bruto. Those are my three projected guests to be on in the blender with me. So everybody fins up and y'all be safe.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.